supersized ambitions, like Mike Price, the head coach of UTEP, who's already taken his program to unparalleled heights. A lot of his success going to ride on the arm of Jordan Palmer as quarterback with 24 touchdown passes this season. It won't be easy making incisions into Colorado's defense. The Buffaloes come into this game determined, agile, and hostile. The champs of the Big 12 North ready to make their move with Ralphie leading the way. Back with more after this.
If you're a Bears fan, there are two reasons you've got to watch NBC5. First, we've got Bears Game Day Live, Sunday mornings at 10:30, sponsored by Toyota. Mark Shanowski has live updates from the field. Then, after the game, you've got to watch Bears Game Night Live at 10:45, sponsored by Canon Business Solutions, with mic'd-up players on Sounds of the Game.
There we go.
Right after Sports Sunday with Brian Baker. Bears Game Day Live, Sunday mornings at 10:30, and Bears Game Night Live, Sunday nights at 10:45. Two great reasons you've got to watch NBC5 this Sunday.
Chicago's first sports radio station, 670 The Score. The best host.
I'm stunned. I'm bewildered. I'm befuddled.
The Mike North Morning Show.
I got it memorized.
Boers and Bernstein.
They're nuts. Well done, leader.
The Rick Tillender Show.
The demise of the jockstrap.
With J. Hood and Doug Buffone.
Stop yourself.
Chicago Sports Talk.
Be gone.
Breaking sports news. Chicago's voice of the fan. 670 The Score.
Oh, yeah.
I am today, in accordance with applicable university policy, terminating Coach Price's employment.
When it looked like a winning coach needed a school, a languishing school needed a winning coach. Ascending from the ashes, Mike Price, hired to convert futility into respectability. Colorado's Gary Barnett spent the spring under siege, but after a 3-month leave, a second chance was his. Both schools dared dream of a bowl bid. Price mined 8 wins out of UTEP, while Barnett and Colorado buffaloed their way to the Big 12 North title. Today, the EV1.net Houston Bowl. And welcome everyone to Houston, Texas, the energy capital of the world, for the EV1.net Houston Bowl. Speaking of energy, a couple of teams looking for an energetic performance today. Colorado out of the Big 12, champs of the North Division, against the Miners from the tiny West Texas mining town at 8-3. The Miners already ambitioning huge things, led by their head coach, Mike Price, in his first year, a Coach of the Year candidate, and there with his symbol of enduring strength and the labor, the love of labor in that West Texas mining town. I'm Mark Jones along with Bob Davey. Holly Rowe down in the field. From all of us to all of you, all the best in 2005. Bob, you're not going to find a bigger confluence of two teams that have overcome adversity this year than today.
Mark, it really is an amazing story that these two teams are in a bowl game. To put it in proper perspective, all you have to do is look back to last spring. UTEP just hired Mike Price. It was controversial. Some people thought it was risky. Colorado, head coach Gary Barnett didn't even coach in the spring. He was suspended. Most people thought he would be fired. Not back with this football team at all in the fall. There's some great comeback stories, Mark, in college football, but these are two of the best right here.
A lot to say of the respective coaches. As for the players on the field, Bob, a couple of running backs in this game. Different statures and physiques, but very productive, both of them.
You're right, Mark. Kind of old school. I mean, both these teams are going to try to run the football, but with different styles. For UTEP, their little tailback, Howard Jackson's about 147 pounds, not very big, but Mike Price said he is the fastest player he has ever coached. For Colorado, Bobby Purify is more of a power back, more in the typical mold of Colorado power football. Contrasting styles on the field, Mark, but these two coaches are really the story of this football game.
Purify fighting some shoulder injuries. Let's go downstairs to Holly Rowe. Holly?
Well, guys, with any football game, attitude is one of the big keys. And for Mike Price, he took over this team and said the biggest thing they needed was an attitude makeover. He has done that with some symbolism. He got a 103-year-old pickaxe that was used in the mines in El Paso. He brings that out, strikes it into the ground to symbolize the miners are going to work. He has instilled a tough, disciplined, hard work attitude, and the players have bought into it. They say they love it. They have more wins this year than they have had in the last 3 years combined. says the only problem about that attitude for this game, he thinks Colorado has that same tough, workmanlike attitude as well.
A good point, Holly. Both coaches, both he and head coach Gary Barnett, share a mutual admiration society. The two of them first met back in the 80s when Barnett was a high school coach in the state of Colorado and Price was an assistant coach at the University of Missouri. We are set for the kick. UTEP won the toss, deciding to receive, and this kick will go through the back of the end zone. It'll be first down and 10 for the Miners from their own 20-yard line. The starting quarterback is Jordan Palmer, 6'5", 230 pounds, a sophomore, threw 24 touchdown passes this year, 21 of them coming in the latter part of the season. And let's take a look at the skill positions with him on the field. Jackson, the star tailback, and they have a couple of big, speedy receivers, too.
And look for UTEP to spread the field, very similar to what Mike Price did at Washington State. Offensive line, undersized, but not really a huge factor, Mark, because this is a speed offense, highlighting the skill position players.
All part of the Nexium starting lineups. First down and 10. This is Jackson showing his elusiveness all the way out beyond the 25 to the 26-yard line, brought down by Jordan Dyson. And let's take a look at that defense now for the Buffaloes. Up front, McChesney, one of the guys to watch on that defensive line.
And you mentioned Jordan Dyson, the linebacker, starting as a true freshman from Hawaii. Didn't even play linebacker in high school. And these two corners, undersized. Colorado has struggled, Mark, in pass defense this year.
Second down, about 4 to go. A little bubble screen out of the backfield. They're going to rule it down. It's going to be whistled down at the 23-yard line, complete for Chris Morrow. That'll come back. They're going to give him the catch and say that he was down. One more look at that one, Bob.
Again, we look, Mark, the little bubble screen. Hard to see right there. We were blocked a little bit.
Regardless, it's going to give UTEP a third down and about 8 to go. Tommy Brooks made the stop on the play. Jordan Palmer, the younger brother of Carson Palmer, now with the Cincinnati Bengals, former Heisman Trophy winner. Pretty impressive numbers on the season and on his career. Palmer back to pass. Complete, but short of the first down at the 26-yard line to Chris Morrow. So it'll be 1, 2, 3 and punt for the Miners on their first offensive possession of the ball game.
And I think a critical possession, obviously only the first series of the football game, but this Colorado team, fragile. After the domination by Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship game, this is a fragile football team with not a lot of confidence. Here they get a chance to get relatively good field position.
Benecos, Bryce Benecos, with a very healthy average, one of the top punters in the nation, already drawing the interest of several NFL teams. On 4th and 4, his first punt of the day. Duran back standing on his own 35. And Robinson got the block from Duran. And nothing on the return after that 42-yard punt. Joe Klatt is the starting quarterback, 6'1", 205 pounds, a junior from Arvada, California. Former minor league baseball player, played a couple of years of minor league baseball, decided to get back to playing his passion, which is football. Take a look at the skilled players surrounding him. Bobby Purify. Some questions, Bob, about his health coming into this ball game, his shoulders in particular.
An amazing story. Won 5 letters at Colorado. Missed 1 season, was awarded a medical red shirt, but comes into this game with shoulder problems and has a slight knee problem.
That offensive line averaging 6'4", almost 300 pounds, a distinctive size advantage over the defensive front of the Miners. First down and 10, and a nice screen pass out to Ron Monte. Out near the 45 at about the 46-yard line. Take a look at that defensive front for the Miners. Ebok might have the best body on the field.
I knew you were admiring that before the game. And Robert Rodriguez, the linebacker, a hometown guy from El Paso, fan favorite, and really a good secondary. Another great comeback story, Jamal Fenner, the corner, has had a great season.
Second down for 1 and for the Buffaloes, and it's going to be complete once again to Monte with plenty of room. Boy, the corner's really laying off soft in coverage there, Bob. Down to the 45. He got 13 yards on that one. Adrian Ward was the DB back on the play.
You mentioned loose coverage right here early. Little bit of a play action fake, and I think that's something Joel Klatt, the quarterback, does an excellent job of is because Colorado's a running team, play action pass is a legitimate weapon for the Buffaloes.
First down and 10. It's Purify, and Purify brought down after a gain of about 1 at the 44 by Brian Gibbons, the 6'3", 250-pound senior. I mentioned senior. Colorado with just 4 starting seniors in this ball game, and they're looking at this one as the first game of the 2005 season.
Well, they really are. And once again, to put the Oklahoma Big 12 championship game behind them, a game in which Oklahoma won 42-3, but even more convincing, 498 yards for Oklahoma, only 46 for Colorado.
Flat back to pass, completes it. Nice run by Vickers, and Vickers, a hometown product, down to the 28-yard line, and another Buffalo first down on the pickup of 16 yards.
And you see right away why they like Lawrence Vickers. They flat said to Colorado coaches, he is their best football player. 6'2", 240 pounds, plays tailback and fullback. Caught 9 passes against Oklahoma State. So play action, getting that fullback out in the flat.
Flat red hot so far, 3 of 3, 37 yards passing. First down and 10. Little pressure coming this time, and Platt steps up, eluding the rush. Falling forward to the 27-yard line, making something out of nothing. Zach West made the tackle on the play, but could have been a lot worse for the Buffaloes back at the 35 instead.
And just to set the stage for this football game from a psychological standpoint, both of these teams lost their last football game, but UTEP losing at Tulsa by only 2 points, 37-35. Colorado embarrassed by Oklahoma 42-3. But both these teams coming off last game losses.
Purify with a hole up the middle down to the 22-yard line. Stopped up by Robert Rodriguez. Gain of about 4 on the play. Rodriguez really symbolizing some of the good things that has come out of this program this year at UTEP. A hometown product. Bob, you talked about him a few moments ago. He has led the WAC in tackles in 3 out of his 4 years. Third down and 5 now for Colorado from the 23. Mike Price, Coach of the Year candidate, doing a fine job this year on the sidelines at UTEP. Flat to pass, has plenty of time. Complete for the first down at the 12-yard line. Good hands by Evan Judge, who picks up 10. And it's first and 10 from the 12 of UTEP.
That was a great catch by Evan Judge. He was a walk-on. You can see why he is now on scholarship at Colorado. That ball was slightly thrown behind him. He did an excellent adjustment on the football.
The team's leading receiver coming into this one with 29 catches. As a receiving core, they didn't have anybody catch over 30 for the first time in a long time. Handed off to Purify. Down to the 7-yard line. Bobby Purify, the 6-foot senior, 215 pounds, the offensive MVP for Colorado this year.
And you talk about psychological advantages. You would think coming into this game that UTEP would have all the psychological advantages as we look at Mike Price. To put it in perspective, 3 straight 2-win seasons prior to Mike Price coming. There's a lot of fans here wearing orange, probably about 20,000. Not many Colorado fans here in this stadium today.
Second down, and Purify is going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage at about the 9-yard line. Number 92, Ebok leading the charge.
And that's your guy right there, Mark. I know you were admiring that body before the game. He's about a 5% body fat guy, and we see just bringing both inside linebackers penetration, and Ebok made the play in the backfield. He's actually Ebok Jr. His dad is Ebok Sr.
I wonder what Senior looks like. That's Junior. Miner fans bringing the noise a little bit. This is the 10th play of the Colorado drive. On 3rd and 7. Platt going to sling it into the end zone. Incomplete, out of bounds. Monte made the catch, but he didn't get the foot in bounds for the touchdown. It'll be 4th down now. And on comes the field goal unit led by place kicker Mason Crosby.
And an excellent route by Monte. He runs the corner route in the back of the end zone right here. No, the right foot mark was on the white line as he gained possession. Excellent call right there.
Crosby now in to attempt the field goal from 26 yards out. One of the top place kickers in the nation. And he knocks it through. Now 20 of 24 on the season. He shows you why he was first team all Big 12. Gary Barnett has endured so many storms during the last few months. His team's up.
Meet Stan Stump.
That'll be $50.
Let's make it 100.
Stan likes to overpay for everything.
Can't go a penny under 20,000. 50,000, and that's my final offer.
Stan pays his internet service provider $25 a month when he could choose everyone's internet and get web chat and all these features for just $10 a month. Don't be as dumb as a stump. Everyone's internet, just $10.
Will you take 20?
Let's talk about better. When someone says something's better, it's usually just their opinion. So if you suffer from acid reflux disease, frequent heartburn, and I told you prescription Nexium heals acid-related damage in the esophagus better, you'd want proof. And now, your doctor has that proof.
Recent medical studies prove Nexium heals that damage better than the other leading prescription medicine. No wonder they call Nexium the healing purple pill. This is big news, so call your doctor today and ask if Nexium is right for you. Because if left untreated, the damage could get worse. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. The most common side effects of Nexium are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain.
Hey, with Nexium, you don't just feel better, you are better.
And better is better. For a free trial offer for Nexium, visit us at purplepill.com or call 1-800-4NEXIUM.
Yeah, that's our new Galant. It's one of the best back cars in the world, so we got your back.
That's a really good price. You sure it's right? Call me crazy, but I would have thought you... We could do a little better?
Absolutely.
Mitsubishi's got your back with up to $6,000 combined cash or no interest financing on select vehicles.
So that was there the whole time?
Yeah.
Offer ends January 3rd.
Joel Klatt leading that drive, 10 plays, 57 yards, using up a little under 5 minutes on the clock. Capped off by the 26-yard field goal by Crosby. And Colorado Buffaloes rhythmically and invariably moving the ball down the field made it look somewhat easy there on their opening possession of the ball game. This kick out of the back of the end zone, and once again Jordan Palmer and UTEP will start off on their own 20-yard line. We're going to take a timeout and be right back after this.
Want to do more, sports fans? Plan a weekend in Houston, because Space City is also Sports City. Host of the EV1.net Houston Bowl, we're also home to nearly every major professional sports team, like the Houston Astros, Rockets, and Texans. Want to play a round of golf? Check out our pleasant year-round temperatures and courses galore. And your dining and nightclub options? We have them all. So start packing, sports fans. For information, log on to visithoustontexas.com.
Yeah, that's our new Galant. It's one of the best back cars in the world, so we got your back.
That's a really good price. You sure it's right? Call me crazy, but I would have thought you... We could do a little better?
Absolutely.
Mitsubishi's got your back with up to $6,000 combined cash or no interest financing on select vehicles.
So that was there the whole time?
Yeah.
Offer ends January 3rd.
Hi, I'd like to redeem my credit card miles. Someplace warm?
No.
But I'm in Chicago. It's freezing.
Ooh, I predict a no storm.
Can my miles get me to Mexico?
No way, Jose.
St. Thomas?
Ain't happening.
Hawaii?
No, huh?
Cabo?
Cobb, no, maybe.
L.A.?
No.
Who's in charge over there?
That would be our CEO.
Go from no to no hassle with Capital One no hassle rewards. There's no blackout dates on any airline anytime.
Nine.
What?
Niet.
But
No.
I'm calling Capital One.
Nunca. What's in your wallet?
People everywhere are experiencing a breakthrough.
I'm full!
Fullness from a value menu.
This is my dad. He's full.
The Big Bell Value Menu from Taco Bell. With filling items like half-pound burritos and big double tacos. Designed to keep your stomach and your wallet full.
What are you supposed to be? I'm full.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a pirate.
Get full on value. Think outside the bun.
Moments ago, Colorado had to settle for a field goal, Bob. They were inches away from a touchdown.
Well, a difficult call, but an excellent call by the Mountain West Conference officials. Right here, Ron Monte does not have possession right now. There he has possession. The right foot right there is clearly on that line. Right now he has possession. Right foot on the line. Excellent mechanics by the back judge, Mountain West Conference official. Close, but they had to settle for a field goal.
Really proves the point, Bob, then, and we've been told the statistics to back it up. These guys are much more right than they are wrong most of the time. I speak of the officials. First down and 10 for Palmer. Fires complete. Out to the 28-yard line, Johnny Lee Higgins, who can stretch the field a little bit. And for more on Jordan Palmer, let's go downstairs to Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, as you mentioned, he's Carson Palmer's little brother, and he said his brother Carson is watching the game today at home. He's got another NFL game coming up this weekend. He says when Carson got his big contract, he offered to buy him a car. He said, no way. You didn't have a car when you were at USC. I have to earn it just like you had to earn it. So turning down a car, Jordan wanted to earn it. He's doing it with a couple of wins here today.
And he just got his team their first down to the ball game, Holly. Jackson took the handoff from Palmer. They were talking about Bob trying to keep his read simple today.
Exactly. You know, he only played 1 year of high school football. When Mike Price and the staff first came to UTEP, they weren't sure he was going to be the answer or be the quarterback. But Mike Price said he has improved as much as any player he has coached. But you're right. They want to keep it simple, keep his reads to a minimum, because he's still a young quarterback, first year in the system. But the great thing, he's improving every time he steps out there.
Yeah, tangibly so from a year ago. On the out and up, going downtown. Complete. Johnny Lee Higgins stretching the defense. Big first down to the 18-yard line of the Buffaloes. That's the guy that they compare to Lee Mays, the former receiver for the UTEP Miners, now with the Steelers, a pickup of 51.
A little double move right here by Jordan Palmer. Right here, a little post, and then break it back outside. Excellent throw down the field. And 3rd and 1, Mike Price goes downtown.
And Mike Price does have a little bit of a riverboat gambler, and look at the impressive numbers for Johnny Lee Higgins career-wise. 1st and 10 from the 18. Little reverse. This is Jackson. Colorado stayed home defensively. Jackson got down to the 13. Terrence Wheatley pushed him out of bounds.
And you see how they are going to take advantage of Howard Jackson, his speed. Mike Price has coached a lot of guys. When he said this is the fastest guy he has ever coached, that is a strong, strong statement.
Another one of those fast players out of Texas playing for UTEP. 47 players on UTEP's roster went to school or are from around 3 hours within the area of Houston. And the backup tailback in there, Marcus Thomas getting the carry this time as Jackson got a quick breather. And about 2 yards to go for the first down. 3rd down coming up. Players shaking up down on the field. That's Brooks. Dominic Brooks, the 6'1 sophomore. Backup's free safety. And don't forget, hey, Capital One Bowl Week continues tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Oklahoma State taking on number 22 Ohio State in the MasterCard Alamo Bowl. Justin Zwick now the starter quarterback. Of course, Troy Smith taken out as a result of some violations that Ohio State was able to uncover. And Mike Price going to have a little brainstorming session with Jordan Palmer, his quarterback, on the sidelines.
Right here, we're going to get a chance to see Dominic Brooks, number 16. Right there, number 18. Obviously a leg injury. Young man from Dallas. Interesting, Colorado has a lot of football players from the state of Texas. They actually have 19 players from Texas. Most of their players come from Colorado. Second highest state's California, but third is from Texas, and a lot of prominent past Colorado players out of this state.
Howard Jackson, meanwhile, Bob, back in the ball game. So yeah, getting back to your Texas theme, this game basically a 3.5-hour infomercial for both these schools with respect to being able to get some players from this great state to sign.
Well, Dom Capers, the Houston Texans coach, was out at the walkthrough yesterday and had a chance to talk to him, and he said that there are more players in the NFL from the Houston metro area than any other location in the United States. So there's a lot of players as we look at Bob Stahl on the left, the athletic director from UTEP, former head coach at UTEP in Missouri, and Dom Capers on the right, who really is the father of the zone blitz, Mark.
Something we'll see a little bit of today. Palmer's 4 for 4. He hands it off this time to his tailback, and it's going to be close to the first down. That was Jimmy Smith, the 5'10 senior. Stopped up by Brian Ewell, second on the team in tackles, number 27 right there for the Buffaloes. Colorado comes in 7-5 overall, 4-4 in the Big 12. They were the North Division champions. And we have fourth down coming up for Jordan Palmer, who looks like he's about to call a timeout, which he does for the Miners. The big play was a pass to Johnny Lee Higgins, put him in scoring range. We'll see if they take advantage of the opportunity after this timeout.
My side hurt.
And then the doctor said, I'm going to hook you with the bill.
No, he didn't. You made that up.
Yeah, he did.
I think I can hear my teeth.
College Game Day, the only pregame show that telecasts live from college campuses, will be covering college basketball.
Are you struggling to make your payments in a debt management program? Did you try credit counseling and it just didn't work? No wonder. The average credit counseling program takes 5 to 7 years to complete, and 85% fail. Don't continue to struggle. As America's largest bankruptcy law firm, we can guarantee you a lower monthly payment or even completely eliminate your bills. Let us offer you a real solution. Call 1-888-7-HELP-US. That's 888-7-HELP-US for a free consultation.
I saved so much on a new Montego from Ogden Lincoln Mercury that life became unbearable. Everybody came by to see this great deal. It was so overwhelming we had to move and assume new identities. I mean, listen, new Montegos for only $298 a month. And this weekend only, you can get a brand new Mountaineer for the same price, $298 a month. We had to move from all the attention. But we sure did enjoy the drive.
You can see at Ogden Lincoln Mercury.
ESPN's presentation of the 2004 EV1.net Houston Bowl. Brought to you by Everyone's Internet. Internet service starting at just $10 a month. And in part by Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. And Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Mike Price with the mining pick, Bob.
And that just answered it. Is he going to go for it on 4th and short? I mean, if you're coming out with a mining pick and spiking it in the ground, you can't kick a field goal right here. Obviously, quarterback sneak, I would think, right here with a 6'4" quarterback.
A pretty good athlete. He seemed to have got it on the second surge, close to the 7-yard line. That's where they're gonna spot it. That's gonna be a first down for Jordan Palmer.
And I think the great thing about Mike Price, this UTEP football team and these fans think they are better than they are, and I mean that as a compliment. And that's a compliment to Mike Price, because this is one of the most positive guys I have ever been around, and he's having more fun right now And we'll talk about the Alabama incident later, but it has rejuvenated this guy.
Says he's having more fun than he's ever had, and he'll have more if Jackson takes it to the house. Touchdown, Miners.
Keep in mind, this is 147 pounds of tailback, but it doesn't matter. He fumbles that ball very close to the plane, but UTEP recovered anyway, but they ruled he did cross the plane, and it was a touchdown.
Reagan Schneider in for the extra point, and UTEP now with a 7-3 lead. Jackson, meanwhile, with his 10th rushing touchdown this season, the 25th of his career. 147 pounds, each and every one of them being put to use right there. Got a little giddy up, too. We'll be back.
This year's biggest splash? The new char-grilled chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. Rebuilt from the wheat bun up. It's our best char-grilled chicken sandwich ever.
Yeah, that's our new Galant. It's one of the best back cars in the world, so we got your back.
That's a really good price. You sure it's right? Zane, call me crazy, but I would have thought you'd... We could do a little better?
Absolutely.
Mitsubishi's got your back with up to $6,000 combined cash or no interest financing on select vehicles.
So that was there the whole time?
Yeah.
Offer ends January 3rd.
For those who fought for freedom, it was their finest hour. Call of Duty, finest hour, rated T for T.
A Capital One Bowl Week Classic. Chris Leak in Florida battle mighty Miami. The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, Friday at 7:30 on ESPN.
Howard Jackson with a touchdown run moments ago. UTEP now leading 7-3. Jackson with his 10th touchdown of the season. And Bob, we said that we're going to add a few pounds on him today. I promised him we weren't going to say 147. I said I was going to pump him up to about 175. But you look at his arms. He's wiry strong, which obviously has helped him become very productive this year. Ran for close to 1,100 yards on the ground this season. Miners with some boisterous fans in tow, leading 7-3. And what a hit on Terrence Wheatley, and Holly Rowe on the sidelines with a very special guest.
Well, Mark, I am with Roy Marsh, the CFO of Everyone's Internet, the sponsor of this bowl game. Tell us what your company does.
Holly, we're a dial-up internet service provider, but that's just part of the story. We're a web hosting company as well.
Tell us what has been the key to your success.
Great employees and wonderful customers.
What do you do? What do you get out of hosting this bowl game?
This is about Houston. We've got a great city, which you've seen in some of the commercials that have been on there, all the many aspects of it. And this is to highlight the city for the nation.
All right, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Mark?
And this game, Holly, a great showcase for both these teams. And getting back to UTEP and Mike Price, Bob, he's done some amazing things. It started in training camp. He had domino tournaments. He had the coaches room close to the players, had the players matched up by different positions, quarterbacks with DBs, belly flop contests, and more importantly, had each and every one of the players learn the school's fight songs. It really created some unity.
Well, he brought the pride back, no question about that. But I make this point, I made it to Mike Price yesterday. He fits better at UTEP than he would have fit at Alabama. When you start talking about wiffle ball contest, long drive contest, having fun playing football, that doesn't match with what Alabama thinks you should do as a football coach or a football team. So it was a roundabout path for Mike Price in his journey to get to UTEP. But Mark, I really do believe he is better suited his style of coaching to be the head coach at UTEP and not Alabama.
Both the players feel that they are grateful to have him, and Price feels that he is grateful to have the players and the staff around him. Bob Stoll, the AD, took a leap of faith in hiring him, and it's paid off. 2nd down and 6. Buffalo's trying to respond. Platt downfield, overshooting Klopfenstein, his tight end. And it'll be 3rd down coming up. Thomas Howard was running with him stride for stride in coverage.
And back to the Mike Price point. Obviously, the Alabama situation will never go away. I mean, that has scarred Mike Price and his family for the rest of his life. But he really has done a remarkable job of bouncing back. And keep in mind, both his sons, Aaron and Eric, are on his staff here as they were at Alabama. So when all that came down in Alabama, it wasn't just Mike Price. It was his whole family that went through that.
If you're not aware, he was dismissed because of conduct unbecoming of a head coach at Alabama, but he has moved on. His defense taking it to the Buffaloes right now. It's going to be ruled down on the hit. And 4th down coming up as Purify unable to get the 1st down for Colorado. So important for the Miners to get a 3 and out after the touchdown.
And one thing you see is the team speed. That is the biggest single advantage. That ball looked like it came out right there. Team speed, UTEP definite advantage over Colorado, and this is a great punter. They were #1 in the country this year in net punting at Colorado.
Torp averaging a fat 46.3 yards per punt. Always have to take into consideration that they do kick at altitude at Colorado in Boulder, but nonetheless, he proves he's got a great leg right there. This is not at altitude, and this was a 51-yard punt. And yesterday, Holly Rowe caught up with Coach's son, Mike Price's son, on the field.
You bring the pick out, you put it in the ground, you go to work. What's important about that attitude?
Well, it's just, we're miners. We go to work in a mine. We're blue collar. We're tough. And that I want to build that in our team. And this is just really a symbol. However, the pick that I use is over 100 years old and was actually used in a mine for 75 years. It was hand forged.
Mike Price taking advantage of the many symbols, and nice catch by Sears for the 1st down. Jordan Palmer starting to catch fire a little bit. Of course, that Mike Price on the sidelines, a pickup of 17 yards out near midfield.
And an excellent play action design right here. You're going to watch the play action, but watch the tight end on the deep crossing route right here off of the play action. Excellent call on 1st down, clear by the wide receiver. That is a well-designed play right there.
Jackson trying to hit the edge. Cuts it up inside. He shows you how elusive he is. Makes it close to the 42-yard line. Howard Jackson, the one thing about him, Bob, you look at his slight build that we've referred to already many times, but he never lets opponents get a clean hit on him, and that's why he's been able to be so durable during the course of the season.
You're right, and really the first off-season, this past off-season, that he didn't run track, he lifted weights, and we'll talk about this a little bit later. Mike Price said he was embarrassed to go in the weight room because he wasn't very strong, and Mike Price kind of tailor-made a program for him.
Here he is again, getting an opportunity and stopped up at the line of scrimmage at the 43-yard line by McChesney. We have a flag down on the field at the 37-yard line. A little extracurricular activity going on. Jose Garcia involved in it. 3:12 to go here in the 1st quarter of play. That personal foul going to go against Colorado. Buffaloes have had a very streaky season, won their first 3 games this year, and then lost 4 out of 5, then won the last 3 after that.
After the play was ended, dead ball, personal foul, defense, number 49. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Thaddeus Washington, the perpetrator.
We're going to get to see here late. The bottom right there. Right there. No question. No question. Thaddeus Washington really could have been ejected from the football game for that.
Uncalled for on 1st down and 10. Boy, Jordan Palmer found a seam between two defenders, complete to Jason Boyd. Boyd made his first catch of the night. An 8-yard pickup on the play. A 6'4" junior, a big target.
Jason Boyd, a transfer from Oregon State. When Mike Price was at Washington State, they recruited Jason Boyd. He left Oregon State because of academics, went to Compton Community College, 6'4", and they really think he has a bright, bright future.
Sets up a 2nd down and 2 for the Miners. Palmer, quick release. And it's going to be 1st down and goal. Chris Francis making the catch. He beat Terrence Wheatley on the play, and the Miners marching on that 17-yard pickup.
We talk about zone blitz. You're going to watch Colorado's going to come from the field with a zone blitz, but an excellent job by Jordan Palmer of stepping up and throwing the slant right there. Great recognition. Excellent throw to Chris Francis, number 80.
Palmer with a nice play fake. Incomplete in the end zone. Into a lot of traffic intended for Sears, the tight end, and that was his first incompletion of the game. Do have a flag down on the play. Palmer now 7 of 8 if this stands. It's going to go against the defense. Boy, good sign for UTEP to have Palmer come out with a hot hand in the early going.
And you see Jordan Palmer, the good, the potential, but right there he got away with one by forcing that football right there to the tight end, Jake Sears. That ball should not have been thrown. Right there, obviously double coverage. I mean, he's just throwing up a jump ball right there. But offsides by Colorado.
And they try to run it again. Stopped up short of the goal line that time. With 1:40 to go here in the first quarter of play. A first quarter dominated by Jordan Palmer and UTEP after Gary Barnett's Colorado team took it down the field on their opening possession to kick a field goal.
And this Colorado defense has struggled all season. 117 Division 1A teams. They come into this game 101st in total defense.
Jimmy Smith is the tailback. Touchdown, Miners. Josh Chamoy got a nice lead block from the aforementioned Smith.
Again, a two-back power play. Great job of protecting that football. He reaches the ball out across the plane of the goal line before the knee was down.
Boy, with the touchdown, the extra point good, and the Miners out to a 14-3 lead. UTEP this year put together an impressive 7-game winning streak, and this is the team that we saw during that streak. Chamoy with the good lead block from Smith. Miners with the lead when we come back.
You've heard there's better surfing than you'd ever expect. That doesn't cost a fortune and you get some respect. Well, somebody's made it easy, someone who really cares. So jump on board, we've got a world to share. Just $10 a month, are you listening yet? Catch a new wave, it's everyone's internet. Just $10 a month, why aren't you with us yet? Catch a new wave, it's everyone's internet.
I was cooking dinner and I fell asleep. I collapsed. I couldn't call for help. But ADT did. They saved my life.
An ADT monitored fire detector actually signals ADT, so we can call for help. Call now and save over $100 off the regular price when you buy ADT's family package. And save up to 20% on your homeowner's insurance. Call 1-800-ADT-ASAP. ADT, always there.
How can a 50-year-old grandmother look this good? Simple. She strength trains with Bowflex.
My results are very real. I lost 17 pounds in the first 5 weeks on my Bowflex.
All it takes for great results is one simple workout done 20 minutes a day, 3 days a week. Own your very own Bowflex Extreme for no money down and payments of just $19 a month. If you want real results, you need a real Bowflex. Call us for a free DVD or video or visit us online today.
The 2005 NCAA Women's Basketball Championship, coming in March on ESPN and ESPN2.
Look at the Polar Ice Galleria located inside the Galleria Mall. They actually got a nice skating rink. Our statistician, Steve LeBeau, and yours truly went for a little walk. We weren't brave enough, Bob, to go for a skate yesterday in the mall. But this is the hometown of Olympic gold medalist Tara Lipinski. Oh, you're up on your figure skating. Chamoy with the touchdown run from a couple of yards out moments ago. The 6th of the season. And this offense now with the Miners really in rhythm after that 67-yard drive. Another short kickoff fielded by Wheatley. And Wheatley is stopped up at about the 22-yard line. Take one more look at that touchdown run by Chamoy.
Mark, this is really close. Now, keep in mind, he can't extend that ball across the plane of the goal line. Which you see him try to do is the knee down before he extends it across the plane. That is a difficult call. I will say this, if it was the Big Ten, and there was instant replay,
we know
they would have ruled that as a touchdown because there was not indisputable evidence that he was down before he crossed the plane of the goal line.
And here's Platt keeping it on the option. Tackled immediately by Blaskowski. Starting strong safety for the Miners. Platt, a pretty good athlete, former minor league baseball player. Started every game since the Iowa State game. Since that Iowa State game midway through the season really gave him an opportunity, with James Cox becoming the starter for that one game, to re-examine what he was doing on the field.
And Klatt with 15 interceptions, the second most in Colorado history in a single season.
On second down, Klatt to pass under heat. Set up a nice screen to Purify. And Bobby Purify has a first down for the Buffaloes at the 39-yard line, a pickup of 16. Bobby Purify's meant so much to this team, courageously fighting off so many injuries during the course of the season. His mere presence in this game means a lot to the Buffaloes.
Mark, this is a great job right here by Colorado as we let this roll of play calling and recognition. UTEP comes with the blitz. You're going to see at the bottom of the screen, Colorado sets up the screen to Bobby Purify. Excellent play call right there by Sean Watson, the offensive coordinator. And you're right, this guy had 2 separated shoulders this season.
And Gary Barnett said that this game is the first game of next season for the Buffaloes. Jackson with a touchdown. Palmer with red-hot passing. And right now, the Miners with a 14-3 lead as we go to start the second quarter after this.
False start. Offense, number 87. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
Yo, hold up. At this time, I would like to respond to these false allegations. Look here, Money, Leon is so freaky fast that this poor befuddled man's mind could in no way process what his eyes truly saw. A fabulous athlete displaying his Puma-like ability to accelerate. These charges are preposterous.
Thank you.
Hi, may I take your order?
I'd like a classic single combo, but instead of fries, I'd like a
baked potato.
No problem.
Introducing combo choices only from Wendy's. You can choose fries, chili, a baked potato, side, or Caesar side salad at no extra cost. Dave Thomas always said people like a choice, so choose Wendy's. It's better here. Our pickup window is open till midnight or later.
Your family tree just got a whole lot bigger. Now that Singular has joined forces with AT&T Wireless to bring you the largest calling community in America. Talk to any Singular or AT&T Wireless customer for free.
Hey, what's going on?
All 46 million of them. Add a member of your family tree to ours for just $9.99 a line. The new Singular, raising the bar.
There's a power so awesome, so irresistible, you'll do anything to get your hands on it. Introducing M3 Power, the first battery-powered shaving system from Gillette. It has M3 Power Glide blades with a patented comfort coating for less irritation. Turn it on and micropulses raise the hair so the blades can shave closer. A battery-powered razor with our most advanced blades. Together they give you the world's best shave. M3 Power from Gillette.
University of Texas El Paso was 2-9 4 years ago, 2-10 the year after that, 2-11 last year. This year, 8-3. An incredible turnaround, choreographed by head coach Mike Price. Right now, his team in the lead 14-3, but the Buffaloes on the move offensively at their own 40-yard line. Hugh Charles on the toss, has an alley. Charles with good bursts down to the 24-yard line and a first down and 10 for the Buffaloes.
And this is the guy that Gary Burnett and the coaches were waiting to see. Hugh Charles has had an unbelievable bowl practice. They're going to keep it simple. They're just going to run a little toss sweep right here to Hugh Charles. This guy is a 10-3, 100 meters. Right there, you see his open field abilities. He makes Mark Dowdy miss from the Dallas area. This guy has had a great bowl preparation, and he gives this Colorado team, Mark, legitimate speed at tailback. Only had 17 carries all year, but they think he can be the future at tailback.
Look good on that run after that 37-yard pickup. Here's the end-around reverse toss, and they've got a block out there. Mackey, and it's going to be first and goal for the Buffaloes from the 3. Blake Mackey. He, too, with big-time speed, a 20-yard pickup.
And you see the two speed players that Colorado has. Blake Mackey from California, highly recruited. He is their fastest wide receiver, and they just bring him on the reverse right here. But two speed players, Hugh Charles, Blake Mackey, back-to-back downs. Gary Barnett gets them in the offense.
Got a good block out there, too, from Sam Wilder, the lineman, the left tackle who was downfield leading the way. First and goal, Purify, with deep back out of the eye. And it's Purify. Stopped up at the 1-yard line by Thomas Howard. Howard with a good stop. Second team all WAC this year. Just a junior, but some people feel, Bob, he might be the best pro prospect on that roster.
And a good-looking athlete. Plays defensive end on passing downs. They flat say he's their most athletic player. His dad played in the NFL, 235 pounds and not much body fat.
That's up second down and goal. Hugh Charles now in at tailback. It's going to be Charles. Touchdown, Buffaloes. Only fitting that Charles, who had the decisive run to set up the score, got to cash it in.
And Gary Barnett took the approach. This is the first game of next year, not the last game of this year, and he sees the young tailback, Hugh Charles, start to take over a little bit here in the second quarter.
Mason Crosby with the extra point to come. Battle between a couple of teams that have seen their share of tumultuous times. Right now it's UTEP leading 14-10. The youngster, Hugh Charles, a freshman, coming home and putting on a bit of a show. We'll be back after this.
People everywhere are experiencing a breakthrough.
I'm full!
Fullness from a value menu.
This is my dad. He's full.
The Big Bell Value Menu from Taco Bell, with filling items like half-pound burritos and big double tacos, designed to keep your stomach and your wallet full.
What are you supposed to be? I'm full. All right.
Yeah.
I'm a pirate.
Get full on value. Think outside the bun.
After finishing his worldwide rounds, Santa's getting some well-deserved R&R. He's not thinking about the stuff he forgot, but Radio Shack is. We've got the things you need to make the stuff Santa brought work, including gaming and computer accessories, AV and wireless accessories, and now iPod accessories, so you can enjoy the rest of the holidays. He sure is. Radio Shack, you've got questions, we've got answers.
Where is he?
Outside.
What, you thought we wouldn't find out? It's your life. You made your choice. I just thought we raised you better than that.
Buying tires is a big decision. Next time, get everything you want. Cooper Tires. Don't give up a thing.
Say it with me, say it with me. Here we go. Let's go, insurers and adjusters. Let's go.
Grill,
Let's go, insurers and adjusters. Let's
$80.
go. Cut that meat.
Sandwich,
Cut that meat.
$6.
Cut that meat.
Gas,
And it's full.
$20.
You're my favorite accountant. Tommy, please. Scotty, please show my fantasy team. You're my favorite worker.
Fans,
Yes. Woo!
priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
Never gonna wash his hand. Right here, look at that.
Colorado quarterback Joel Klatt leading his team down the field, cashing in with a touchdown. Handed it off to that youngster, Charles. Finished 14-10. Klatt, by the way, was one of the real vocal leaders, inspirational leaders for the Buffaloes during that rough period they went through at the end of February, through to the time that head coach Gary Barnett was reinstated as the head coach. And speaking of Gary Barnett, he was basically, as we referred to, given a paid administrative leave from the end of February for 3 months. He was reinstated after that for some insensitive remarks that he made regarding a player, a woman that was allegedly assaulted by one of his players.
And Mark, it turned into a scandal. There's no other word for it. And the reality is most people around the country, it was the story of college football all through the spring for that 3-month period. Most people, including some of the assistant coaches, did not think Gary Barnett would be back to coach this Buffalo football team this season.
Nice move by Boyd, and Boyd has a first down to the 36-yard line. And interesting that while Barnett was away from the program, Brian Cabral, the acting head coach, really did a nice job administratively in being able to delegate some of the things to the offensive coordinator, the offensive coordinator, Sean Watson, and Mike Hankwich, the defensive coordinator, who ran the football side of the operation.
And really tough on assistant coaches because it's into spring ball, March, April. There are no other jobs out there on the job market in the month of March and April now.
This is Jackson on the carry around the left end, brought down to the 36. And it's a real credit to that coaching staff of Colorado, Bob, to think that they came out of the blocks going 3-0. They won their first 3 games of the season.
Well, football is a relief, I promise you. By the time they got to August and it was time to play football, it was a relief and something positive to look forward to. But that scandal, the scars of that will last forever. Not only does it affect Gary Barnett, but let's face it, these Colorado players, they are in a fishbowl every day of their lives on that Boulder campus from here on out.
Ironically, Barnett, the coach of the year in the Big 12 Conference. The pass incomplete at the 37-yard line. They threw it up for grabs, and the 6'4" Boyd was matched up against the 5'10" Terrence Wheatley.
You're exactly right. Jason Boyd at 6'4" against Wheatley. We talked about Colorado's vulnerability at corner. A little bit of pushing right there, but you see the size matchup. Excellent job by Terrence Wheatley of just fighting it right there and staying active.
Hey, Wheatley has 4 picks in the last 5 games for Colorado.
How about that? And the fastest guy on the team, which is a pretty good starting point for playing bump and run coverage out there.
3rd and long, 11 to go for Palmer. On the post and incomplete, intended for Higgins. It's 4th down.
And I think from a coach's perspective, as you look at Gary Barnett, and let's be honest, he looks beat up. This has been a tough year for Gary Barnett and his family. And the most difficult thing, you really cannot defend yourself. And Gary Barnett learned the less you say when you're under siege, the better. Because whatever you say can and will be held against you. If you try to defend yourself, you're going to look self-serving. You're going to look like you're making excuses. You have to just sit back and take it. And that's frustrating for a guy that has a lot of pride in what he's done in his profession.
Well said, and that was Stephon Robinson, hit immediately. 39-yard punt, nothing on the return. Miners on defense when we come back.
Meet Stan Stump.
That'll be $50.
Let's make it 100.
Stan likes to overpay for everything.
Can't go a penny under 20,000. 50,000, and that's my final offer.
Stan pays his internet service provider $25 a month when he could choose everyone's internet and get WebJet and all these features for just $10 a month. Don't be as dumb as a stump. Everyone's internet, just $10.
Will you take 20?
The critics declare victory for Call of Duty. Game Informer Online says it's the most intense and realistic combat ever. GameSpy heralds it as one of the most exciting console shooters in years. Rolling Stone calls it breathtaking. Call of Duty, finest hour, rated T.
Fresh, made to order. Sonic's got it, others don't. At Sonic, you won't find any microwaves around here, but you will find delicious all-beef burgers served with the freshest ingredients around and made after you order them, the way you like them. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Heartburn's back? Heartburn is back? Heartburn's back? 3rd day this week, so he carries these.
You might try a different kind of medicine.
One made for frequent heartburn. Prilosec OTC.
It's the only OTC that directly shuts down lots of acid pumps.
That's why 1 pill a day can work for 24 hours to give you 0 heartburn.
Sounds like smooth sailing.
1 pill a day.
24 hours, 0 heartburn.
They're the pride of their community.
Gerardo Colon, Army Reserve.
Jim Toro, Army Reserve.
Guillermo Rosario, Army Reserve.
They're an integral part of the U.S. Army. They strengthen their communities and themselves by serving in the Army Reserve. They serve their country without giving up their civilian life. Become a soldier in the Army Reserve.
ESPN's presentation of the 2004 EV1.net Houston Bowl. Brought to you by Everyone's Internet. Internet service starting at just $10 a month. And in part by Call of Duty, finest hour, available now. And Sonic. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Look at Williams Tower Park in uptown Houston, 14-10. UTEP leading Colorado in the EV1.net Houston Bowl. 1st and 10 Buffaloes from their own 20. Purify back in the ball game out near the 30. Got about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Let's take a look at our ESPN game track. Jordan Palmer came out white hot passing the ball. A couple of big plays, one of them downfield to Johnny Lee Higgins, and then Colorado's comeback led by the freshman Hugh Charles with a couple of nice runs. That one the touchdown. And it stands 14-10, 2nd down and 6 for the Buffaloes. Lawrence Vickers in the ball game. Not complete. For 81, Duran. Out of bounds for a nice game. Joel Klatt with a lot on his mind lately, Bob. Recently proposing to his girlfriend, Sarah. Went to a big lookout spot, I'm told, and popped the question, and took a while to really get the answer. Sean Watson kind of was a little unsure about things, the offensive coordinator. I'm wondering who actually called the play and who made the audible there.
I'll tell you what.
She said yes, by the way.
You were right in the middle of that story.
Love getting people's business.
You love the insight that brought. But talking about Joel Klatt, the scandal Colorado went through affects everybody. And Joel Klatt had a great sophomore year last year. 65% completion, 21 TDs, 10 interceptions. This year, 15 interceptions. Because he was the spokesman for this football team all through the spring and the summer, I think that's affected his play this year.
Interesting theory, a lot emotionally on his mind. That was Vickers on the carry. Got about 1 on the play. I'm near the 38-yard line, but Bob, there were some interesting pieces not around him this year for Coach Barnett offensively. Some guys graduating on to the NFL.
No question. Last year's surrounding cast was better, but I do think when you take on the responsibility of the spokesman in such a high pressure situation, that's tough for a young guy, and that wears on you. And he may have pressed a little bit too early, tried to make too many throws he shouldn't, and I think that's why he has the 15 interceptions this year.
Second down and 9. Completes it underneath at the 40-yard line to Purify coming out of the backfield. About 5 yards short of the first down. Got about 3 on that play. There's a flag down on the play as well.
And you see the call. Unnecessary roughness, roughing the passer. Add 15 yards onto that. I think you have to call that, but I know how difficult that is for a defensive player. Sometimes you don't see that football thrown, and it was kind of a continuation play, and he wrestled Jordan Palmer to the ground.
That's UTEP's first penalty of the ball game.
How about Mike? LASIK surgery.
He looks good.
Lost 20 pounds. Little suntan from being out there in the desert. But I'll tell you what, winning. You talk about LASIK surgery, you talk about 20 pounds. Winning.
It's like a good deodorant. Covers up a lot of stuff that smells. First down and 10. Klatt on the bootleg. Oh, what a great play by the defensive end. Brian Gibbons dragged him down by his shoestrings. It'll be second down and 10.
Excellent job by Brian Gibbons. And UTEP coaches, their defensive coordinator Tim Hunley talked about controlling the bootleg play-action passing game. Excellent down-the-line pursuit right there by Brian Gibbons. And that was not intentional grounding because, as you know, he was outside the tackle box and he threw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a second down and 10 now. Purify back in the ball game, rotating time with Hugh Charles. Vickers also has seen some time at the tailback spot.
Colorado now in an empty 5-wide formation.
Oh, the heat was coming, and Klatt found his hot receiver at the 40-yard line. Pass is complete. Picked up about 4 on the play. It was to Purify. Good recognition that time, seemingly, Bob, by the quarterback Klatt.
And they say he is an excellent decision maker, and he's really good at those timing passes. He needs to get the ball out of his hands quickly because when he stands back there in the pocket sometimes, he tries to do too many things and force too many balls.
Son of a coach, his father, Gary, spent 30 years as a high school coach in Colorado. He recently retired.
UTEP loves to blitz in these 3rd and 6 situations. Mark, look for an all-out blitz.
Klatt keeps it himself. Couldn't break the tackle and brought down short of the first down at the 37-yard line by Minio.
And that was a check right there by Joel Klatt. I want you to look at this. He's reading the safety. The safety is cheated over, covering the tight end. It's straight man-to-man coverage. The answer to the blitz is the option. So this is an audible at the line of scrimmage, but an excellent job right there of UTEP's defense just stringing this thing out. And Mark, this guy right here has a cannon for a leg.
He's made 5 field goals this year of over 50 yards, including a 60-yarder. This from 54, has enough leg. Drills it right down Main Street. Mason Crosby on the money.
And don't tell me about the high altitude, because kickers get beat up on that when they come out of Colorado. This is at sea level right here in Houston, and he drilled it.
Oh, and he gets the shoe shine. It ain't a spit and shine. You know what they say, your attitude affects your altitude, and that one was plenty high enough for Gary Barnett and the Buffaloes, roaring back to within 1 of UTEP.
I'm watching Bass Center and all the new lures, and I wondered, whatever happened to just plain old worms?
No, it's a lost art.
I love my holographic crawpile lures, but I just...
Oh, man, I miss my worms.
The PGA Tour is back in prime time. Vijay, Tiger, and a field of Tour champions. Live from paradise, the Mercedes Championships. Coverage begins Thursday, January 6th at 7 Eastern on ESPN.
Are you struggling to make your payments in a debt management program? Did you try credit counseling and it just didn't work? No wonder. The average credit counseling program takes 5 to 7 years to complete, and 85% fail. Don't continue to struggle. As America's largest bankruptcy law firm, we can guarantee you a lower monthly payment or even completely eliminate your bills. Let us offer you a real solution. Call 1-888-7-HELP-US. That's 888-7-HELP-US for a free consultation.
I saved so much on a new Montego from Ogden Lincoln Mercury that life became unbearable. Everybody came by to see this great deal. It was so overwhelming we had to move and assume new identities. I mean, listen, new Montegos for only $298 a month. And this weekend only, you can get a brand new Mountaineer for the same price, $298 a month. We had to move from all the attention. But we sure did enjoy the drive.
You can see at Ogden Lincoln Mercury.
Capital One Bowl Week continuing, and a look at the downtown aquarium here in Houston, a unique underwater venue and entertainment center as well, a fan favorite. Train ride through the old Shark Tank. Those babies are real.
I'll tell you what, this stadium is as nice as I have ever been in, Reliant Stadium, and these facilities here for the Houston Texans, practice fields, indoor practice facility, great complex.
Another Buffalo kick deep into the end zone. And UTEP will start off in their own 20. And, here's what happened after that field goal by Mason Crosby. The punter, John Torpin, he had a little deal worked out. Whenever he kicks one over 50, Bob, that's what he gets.
Well, I'm going to tell you what.
Make that rag pop, baby.
You see why teammates don't like kickers? They have too much time on their hands at practice to come up with something like that. And this guy's got a ritual 2 days before the game. He goes and hits 60 golf balls at a driving range.
The analogy between a golf swing and the leg mold?
No, you're reaching.
I'm trying, baby.
It's all just about the confidence, little idiosyncrasy.
Jackson on the carry, got up to the 20. We talked about his strong leg, 5 over 50 yards, including a 60-yarder. This one coming in the second quarter, the longest in school history against Iowa State.
Wow. You got both shoes shined right there if you're over 60.
Crosby made 4 field goals in the 19-14 win over Iowa State. That was the longest field goal of the season.
But if you're honest, you break it down statistically, the reason Colorado is even in postseason play, Mark, is because of the kicking game.
We'll see if Jordan Palmer and UTEP can respond here. Pressure on Palmer on the blitz, and it's Jackson with one man to beat there. Jackson eluded 4 different tacklers and made it out to the 27-yard line. We talked about Jackson not letting opponents get a clean hit on him, Bob. That was a prime example, a pickup of 8.
And what I love, Jordan Palmer holding on to that ball until the last possible second. And you're right, at 147 pounds, you better make him miss. That's a heck of a story right there, isn't it, Mark?
4.26 speed. Not the biggest tailback in the country, but now on the sidelines, Coach Mike Price says he's the fastest player he has ever coached. 3rd down and 2. A little bit of motion up front on the line.
Offside.
defense number 93.
Hey, guard!
5-yard penalty. With that yardage, the first down.
Penalty against Vaka Manapuna.
And you have to be impressed with Jordan Palmer. I'm sure his brother Carson Palmer is watching back in Cincinnati. But those back-to-back plays right there, that's a pretty seasoned quarterback. On that screen, holding the ball with the pressure coming, then changing the cadence right there with the freeze count to draw the offsides on 3rd down and 4. So pretty impressive for a young guy, Mark, that really hadn't played that much football.
Didn't start playing quarterback until his senior year in high school at Mission Viejo, California. First down and 10, a little draw play. Jackson met with force up the middle. And for more on Jackson, let's go downstairs to Holly.
Well, guys, Howard Jackson is an interesting story. Mike Price said that when he came in, Howard Jackson would walk into the track stadium and be the outstanding best athlete. He'd walk into the football stadium and be the best athlete. But when he walked into the weight room, he was far from the best, and it embarrassed Jackson. So Mike Price did something unusual. He set up one-on-one workout time with Howard Jackson and the weightlifting coach. He said he wanted him in the weight room by himself so he didn't feel embarrassed about how much weight he could throw up. Turned out great. He's had great longevity this year because he's added some muscle.
Yeah, to see he's 147, I'm not sure that most people can really relate to that. He looks bigger than that. He really does.
And I think that's a great story that Holly just gave us. And I think that's about coaching. I mean, you have to give Mike Price a lot of credit. I mean, here's a guy like Howard Jackson, succeeded at everything he's done. But Mike Price is perceptive enough to realize this kid isn't going in the weight room because he gets embarrassed. So instead of backing him in a quarter, he goes ahead and gets him in there one-on-one. You see right here, he's lined up in receiver. So I think that's coaching. I think that's a great job.
In tune with the sensitivities of his players, and the pass complete for the first down at the 46-yard line to Jason Boyd, who was working on Tyrone Henderson. With 6:40 to go now in the first half, Boyd with his second catch of the game, a 15-yard pickup.
And again, we talk about Colorado. Not much height in that secondary. Jason Boyd at 6'4", and right here, I mean, you see him go up and get the football. Again, an excellent throw by Jordan Palmer on the corner route.
First down and 10 out near midfield now at the 46. They set up a screen, and that was read well and almost intercepted. The Colorado defense had a beat on it.
And Dabo, this guy bench presses 430 pounds right here. Almost had a chance to intercept that football right there.
That's why he's a defensive lineman, Bob, with those hands. Sets up a second down and 10. Mike Hankwitz, the defensive coordinator for Colorado, whose second stint in Boulder. Former coordinator at Texas A&M.
They called him retro coach.
How's that?
Players at Colorado. I guess second stint, kind of an old school guy.
Handoff. Jackson is stopped up after a gain of about 1 yard that time. Don made the tackle on the play. Let's go downstairs to Holly.
Well, guys, you're talking about the leadership of Brandon Dabdoob. When they had given up their second straight touchdown early in that first quarter, he gathered the whole Colorado defense on the sideline. Now, he's one of only 2 seniors in that 2 deep on defense. He said, guys, this is pitiful. He was screaming at his players. He said, guys, this is UTEP. We're better than they are. We've got to come out and play like it. He said they've got to pull their head out. I'll leave it at that, but he wanted them fired up and performing and executing. So the 2 seniors on defense really trying to get their guys a little bit more energetic.
Holly on 3rd and 11. Leadership a key component on both sides of the ball. Palmer complete to Higgins, still on his feet. And a first down at the 38. Palmer threw that ball before Higgins came out of his break, Bob, and it was right there when he turned around. A pickup of 18 yards and another first down for the Miners.
So we talked about the problems Colorado has had in the secondary, particularly at corner. You're going to see good pressure right here. Jordan Palmer steps up with heat in his face, but Garrett Burrell, the corner, way off, Mark. Probably a 10-yard cushion right there on 3rd down. Way too soft coverage right there.
Higgins, meanwhile, Bob, with 3 catches for 77 yards. Approaching 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Palmer completes it to the near side of the field. That was Jason Boyd Boyd with some very good bloodlines. I'm a native of Toronto, and I grew up watching his father, Jeff Boyd, make outstanding plays in the Canadian Football League. Jason, obviously a chip off the old block right now.
And Mike Hankwitz, the defensive coordinator from Colorado, worried about what is happening right now, going after Colorado's corners.
On 2nd and 3. Jackson still on his feet and finally brought down to the 28 by Henderson. Howard Jackson still holds the long jump record in the state of Texas in high school.
We talked about this Colorado defense as we look at Mike Hankwitz. Keep in mind, only one senior starter, but even more difficult, they lost some great players. Sammy Joseph, their best coverage corner, transferred after spring football practice. That's really hard because you've invested a lot of time in a guy. Transferred to LSU. Then J.J. Billingsley, their safety, was injured. So this secondary is under siege. They've been under siege really all season.
Backed up right now. Matt Austin in a tailback for UTEP. Backside pressure on Palmer. Incomplete at the 3-yard line for Jason Boyd, who couldn't squeeze it. And Mike Hankwitz's defense catches a break that time because Boyd had gotten in behind the defender.
And it looked like that football should have been caught as they run the post route. Wow, the ball slightly thrown behind Jason Boyd.
Roughing the passer. Defense, number 98. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Seen one of those called against each team now.
And Holly talked about Brandon Dalbo on the sideline right there, the emotion he was showing right there. He didn't help his football team. Mark, that ball was tipped by Okarika Don, the linebacker.
Tougher catch than at first thought. They run the draw to Austin, and Austin is met immediately inside the 15 of the 14-yard line. And want to get back to Mike Hankwitz, the defensive coordinator. His father, George, is in a Ludington, Michigan hospital right now watching the game and fighting for his health right now. All of us at ESPN and the entire Colorado University family would like to send out best wishes to George.
And this guy's coached a bunch of football. You mentioned second time at Colorado was with R.C. Slocum right up the road here at Texas A&M. He's a good football coach.
13th play of the UTEP drive. Palmer temporarily escaping and finally brought down to the 17-yard line. With 3:43 to go. McChesney with the pursuit.
And McChesney has been an excellent player all year for this Colorado defense. In fact, he won their best defensive player award. You see right here, not only the tattoo, but he injured his elbow against Oklahoma. Grew up in Colorado, always wanted to be a Buffalo, has had a great career. Look at those tattoos.
Colorful young man. 3rd and 13. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Boyd hung on to that one for sure.
A great job of 3rd down conversions on that entire drive, led by the quarterback, Jordan Palmer.
Boyd, meanwhile, with his 5th touchdown catch this season. That was a 14-play drive by the Miners.
Aided by an offsides penalty on Colorado on 3rd down and 3, and also a roughing the passer. But the real problem, this Colorado secondary.
Boyd with a nice pattern.
Wow. Reese Davis, I know Trev Alberts just broke into a sweat with that wide open hole in that secondary.
Defenses beware, Reese. You hear the message. Back to you.
All right, Mark, I sort of like it when they pitch it around a little bit. Coming up on the Crest Store halftime report, Trev Alberts and Mark May will join me. Some more bad news for Ohio State off the field. We'll hear from athletic director Andy Geiger. The coach gets fired as well, and we'll look ahead to the Buckeyes and Oklahoma State on the field.
And that coach that got fired will give you the reasons why he was dismissed.
We'll talk about why these non-BCS schools are having a great chance and also beating these BCS schools on a regular basis, guys.
They're up for this one for sure. UTEP, as you guys know, trying to win a bowl game, guys. Hasn't happened since 1967. In great shape right now.
Yeah, they sure are, Reese. And Boyd, like a guy named Bond, likes his defenders shaken, not stirred. 8-point lead for the Miners. And a very vociferous crowd has made the trip from West Texas, the tiny town of El Paso.
And this is a fun football team to watch. I'm talking about UTEP.
One of the great success stories in college football this year. Wheatley on the return. Wheatley still on his feet, and Wheatley with a nice return to the 46-yard line for the Buffaloes. Well, tomorrow night, Capital One Bowl Week continuing with the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl. Number 21 Texas Tech taking on number 4 Cal at 8 Eastern on ESPN and ESPN HD. Texas Tech with the top-ranked passing offense in the nation, and Cal, Bob, we got to look at their running back J.J. Arrington in a game against Southern Miss a few weeks back. He comes in with 1,845 rushing yards. That's tops in the nation. So a lot of offense on the field. I know Trev Albert's going to love that one too.
I tell you, Cal's a good football team, but they better be careful against Texas Tech tomorrow night.
Tipped and caught on the play by Duran. It was tipped by Thomas Howard, but good concentration by Duran. And there's a flag down afterwards. It'll be a face mask against the Miners. An incredulous Mike Price on the sidelines. Duran a little bit shaken up, going off to the sidelines. This is the EV1.net Houston Bowl. I'm Mark Jones along with Holly Rowe and Bob Davey. 2:48 to go in the second quarter. A pretty entertaining game so far, with UTEP coming in 8-3 overall. Colorado coming in at 7-5, coming off a disheartening loss in the Big 12 championship game against the Oklahoma Sooners, and willing to tell anybody that will listen that they want to get that sour taste out of their collective mouths with a win here against UTEP. Meanwhile, UTEP come off a disappointing loss against Tulsa in their last game of the regular season. Trying to put a punctuation mark on a very successful season. Pass complete down to the 38-yard line to Mackey. Check out Joel Klatt's clock managing skills right now.
Interesting story with Joel Klatt. Actually was a walk-on. He signed with Northern Colorado out of high school, then played Major League Baseball for 2 years in the Padres organization, a third baseman. Dad's a high school coach, as you mentioned, Mark.
And there's Purify down to the 31-yard line, about 3 yards short of the first down. Adrian Ward took him down. You know, everybody talks about Joel Klatt's maturity and how he's a former professional baseball player, came back to school, and you'd think that the guy was, 27 or 28 years old by the sounds of it, but he's only, and I say only, 22 years old, so just slightly more mature than most of his class. And second down and 3 now. Incomplete at the 24, intended for Blake Mackey. Stops the clock with just under 2 minutes to go here in the first half.
Colorado in excellent field position. Back to the point of Colorado, 101st in total defense, 94th in total offense out of 117 teams. Really, the kicking game has been their strength. They are already in field goal position.
And Sean Watson, the offensive coordinator for the Buffaloes up top, recently interviewed to Miami, Ohio for that head coaching position, which has subsequently been filled. Flat complete over the middle at the 25 to Dusty Sprague. A pickup of about 6 on the play. I'm Mark Jones along with Bob Davey and Holly Rowe down to the field. Capital One Bowl Week continuing here with the EV1.net Houston Bowl in Houston, Texas, Reliant Stadium. And don't forget, everyone, that SportsCenter right now is on ESPN2. Not that you want to blink on anything here. Platt scrambling, pursued to the 23 where he hook slides safely. With 1.5 minutes to go now in the first half and a timeout called on the field.
Colorado uses their first timeout.
Buffalo's going to talk it over with their head coach, Gary Barnett, the coach of the year in the Big 12. Back with more after this.
If you come to learn, we teach. If you go it alone, we support you. If you want to be a part of something larger than yourself, we give you every advantage. If you want to know us, look in the mirror. We've done amazing things together. Let's do more. UTEP, our time is now.
Which of the nation's top research universities is the leader in space exploration? Where are undergraduate students working side by side with the world's top researchers?
We have more satellites in space today built and monitored by our students and faculty than any other university in the country.
Where are they pioneering extraordinary scientific discoveries?
We create new knowledge. We create the technology. We create the new ideas of the next generation.
This was the scene last night outside the Outback Steakhouse. Ralphie, one of the great enduring symbols of college football and symbol of strength for the Buffaloes, steaming up our camera lens.
He's probably getting nervous, sitting down in front of that Outback Steakhouse.
He was getting ready for the big run on earlier today. I've always wanted to run with him, Bob. Never mustered up the courage.
You know, you actually have to run. From what I understand, Holly Rowe would know more about this, but they actually time those handlers. And you have to run a 5-flat 40 to qualify to be one of those handlers.
That's not exactly slow.
That's fast.
Yeah.
A legitimate 5-flat is fast.
Here's Platt on the out and up, going into the end zone. Incomplete, intended for Monte. He went up over Adrian Ward, but it's incomplete nonetheless. And boy, Ron Monte has made a couple of nice catches already, but not that time.
And Adrian Ward, number 3, the corner right here. Excellent job of looking back. Monte had a chance to catch that football. But Adrian Ward, the UTEP coaches love him. They see his NFL coverage skills. Started out slow early in the year, a little bit timid. Coaches challenged him after the Arizona State game, the first game of the year, and this kid has a bright future.
In first team All-Western Athletic Conference. 3rd down and 10. Monte in motion. They come back to the weak side of the field. Purify. And brought down at the 14. That's near a first down, a 9-yard pickup. Jamal Fenner made the tackle.
Excellent job of reading the strong safety blitz. The strong safety is going to blitz from the field. Notice the free safety. He's cheated over to the field. There's only one guy into the boundary, and they take advantage of that by throwing the ball back. Look at the secondary. Everybody overloaded to the field. They throw the screen into the boundary. Again, an excellent design play.
Pass complete once again. Down to the 9-yard line. It's Evan Judge. Looks like there's a flag on the far side of the field. One looks like it's going to come back.
Illegal formation, offense. Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Well, coming up at halftime, it's the Crestor halftime report with Reese, Trev, and Mark. More bad news at Ohio State. You may have seen and heard Mike Tirico with Andy Geiger, the athletic director there. More on that at halftime. The Orangemen looking for a new head man, and preview of tonight's MasterCard Alamo Bowl. 1st and 15, Platt under duress and sacked back at the 27-yard line. by Ebok.
There's your guy, Mark. Ebok. He was a 200-pound linebacker. They say this kid loves to work out.
That's their 40th sack of the year.
And right here, you're going to see him at the top of the screen. I mean, he just simply comes around the horn. Not a real big defense, UTEP, but they've got some excellent team speed.
Let's go down to Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, you're talking and raving about the body of Ebok. He is actually a personal trainer in the Texas El Paso area. He goes to gyms and has clients where he works them out as his summer job. They say he's very proud of that body, but not only does he work out, he has outstanding nutrition. Do you guys want me to get a business card, see if he can hook you up?
Please, Holly, I need a few protein shakes. The nutrition part is what usually gets me. Don't forget, folks, that SportsCenter right now is on ESPN2. And don't forget, Capital One Bowl Week continuing tonight, 8 Eastern. Oklahoma State taking on number 22, Ohio State, in the MasterCard Alamo Bowl. Justin Zwick going to be the starting quarterback. And Hernan Morency averaging 145 yards per game for Oklahoma State and 12 touchdowns as well. Teddy Ginn, a great weapon right there, number 7 for the Buckeyes. But back here, 46 seconds to go in the half. Buffalo's with the ball at UTEP's 27. This is the 10th play of the Buffalo drive. Purify is the lone back. And he's sacked back at the 31. They're going to rule that Platt was down. Down to the 31.
Again, Colorado more of a run, play action passing team when they have to drop back, obviously having trouble protecting. And you see right there, number 70, Chris Minio and Alex Obamise. But Colorado, this really isn't their scheme, even though they have all 5 offensive linemen starters back from last year.
Looking at 3rd and 27, a little swing pass to Purify. And Purify got back some of that yardage, so they're in better field goal position right now at the 21-yard line. With 4 seconds to go in the first half of play, on comes Mason Crosby, who already has kicked a field goal from 54 yards today, has a career long of 60. This one, relatively speaking, should be a chip shot from about 40 yards out.
But Colorado self-destructing right there after a very impressive drive. The penalty, the 2 sacks, has to settle for the field goal.
This one from 40 yards out. And he hooked it off to the left.
And that is big for these Miners. And it's basically a home game. They go into the locker room with a lot of momentum after that missed field goal. But self-destruction by the Colorado offensive football team.
Barry Barnett and his troops will reassess the game plan in the locker room. After a good start, they led 3-0, marching it down the field early, but since that time have fallen behind by a count of 21-13. The Miners looking for their 9th win of the season against just 3 defeats. And let's go downstairs to Holly with their head coach, Mike Price.
Coach Price, all the emotion of just getting to this game, how did your kids settle down and execute in the first half?
I thought we were pretty calm, you know. We wanted to be composed because I didn't want them to be too excited, but this is a heck of a game. And both teams really are playing about like we play, you know, and they're playing about like they're playing too.
Your defense has come up with some critical stops, especially on that last drive. What's working for them?
Well, we're just really getting after them up front, I think. They did break that one sweep where we ran inside of it, but they're a good football team. This is an exciting one.
All right, thanks, Coach. Mark.
21-13 for the Miners. Time for the Crestor halftime report. And, hey, Reese, so far, Colorado has went looking for Miners. They've only found the shaft so far.
It's like a sequel to a country song that Jonesy's working on there. Glad to have you with us in the Crestor halftime report. Trev and Mark alongside. And I know you heard Holly Rowe mention that Ebok is a personal trainer. And I'm sure that you're delighted to see that referee Carl Richens appears to be a client. He's got the arms yoked up.
We have called in the past for officials to get in better shape, lose a little weight, run some 40s. How about that guy? Huh?
You're happy
Terrific
about that.
job. He's got some guns. He's in position. He's an athletic.
All right, but maybe not quite as good a job as what we're seeing from the UTEP offense right now, Mayday.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Jordan Palmer, and particularly his development under Mike Price as head coach, and his two sons, Aaron and Eric, the offensive coordinator and the quarterback coach. But in this first half, he's made every throw, dropping it off to running backs on screens, throwing the ball vertically down the field to play, and making great decisions with the offense. 13 of 18, 183 yards, 1 touchdown. Outstanding first half for Jordan Palmer.
You know, guys, so far in bowl seasons, we've made these statements about teams from lesser conferences. You know, Wyoming, when they played UCLA, saying, well, some of these teams just don't really want to be there. At what point are we going to take a step back and say, maybe these teams are better? Maybe UTEP is better than Colorado. Maybe Wyoming was better than UCLA. You know what? Maybe Fresno State was better than Virginia. Huh?
They were on that day.
Yeah,
they were
I
on
think
that
it's
day.
time to say that these teams are better, not making excuses for these BCS conference schools that aren't ready to play. UTEP is better right now.
You know, I have one other thought, too, about Ebok.
What?
There's a certain shoe company, if he makes it big, that is a marketing dream right there to get him with that certain company. I don't want to have any endorsements here. When we continue on the Crestor halftime report, we'll turn our attention to far more serious matters. Ohio State, the latest on the scandal involving Troy Smith. You'll also hear reaction from Buckeye Athletic Director Andy Geiger. All of that's coming up in just a bit.
The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, Friday at 7:30 on ESPN.
Hey, Chubbs, first day? Yeah. No. The answer's always no. You got that Quasimodo? Now, I'm a caller. Hi, can I redeem my credit card miles? No. That's right. Mix it up. Tic-tac, no. E-I-E-I, no. Marco.
Pull no.
All right. Are we clear?
Yeah. No. Hey, shouldn't I just call Capital One?
Hey.
Yeah.
Go from no to no hassle with Capital One No Hassle Rewards. There's no blackout dates on any airline anytime.
What's in your wallet?
Oh, I got a couple bucks. Bus pass.
Off the screen, loads up. Got it! He knocked it in!
Have you ever started a car from across the road? Given your backseat passengers a tan? Or driven a four-door like a sports car? Introducing the first ever G6 from Pontiac. During the Pontiac Holiday Red Tag Sale, lease a well-equipped G6 GT for around $229 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details. Be the first. See your Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana Pontiac dealer.
This halftime report is presented by Crestor. Visit Crestor.com and ask your doctor if Crestor is right for you.
How about Jordan Palmer flourishing in that Mike Price offense, finding Jason Boyd and the Miners throwing down the axe, doing some business against Colorado. It is 21-13 at the break. Glad to have you with us on the Crestor halftime report. Well, later on tonight in the MasterCard Alamo Bowl, Ohio State will take on Oklahoma State. Buckeyes will be without their starting quarterback, Troy Smith. Smith has been suspended for violating NCAA rules. The story in the Columbus Dispatch revealed that Smith took money from a booster, a fact that has been confirmed by Ohio State Athletic Director Andy Geiger. That booster was identified as Robert Q. Baker. As you know, Ohio State has been on treacherous ground since Maurice Clarett made allegations against the university of academic improprieties and also charged that student-athletes received improper benefits from boosters and that it was widespread and rampant. Andy Geiger initially dismissed Clarett's claims, backed off that stance a bit, and then yesterday in various news reports admitted that some of Clarett's statements probably had merit. These are the comments from Andy Geiger. He said, quote, "I'm not sure that I think that everything that Maurice said lacked credence. But what wasn't there is what is there now. We have an example of something that has happened," meaning the money that Troy Smith took from the booster Robert Q. Baker. Geiger went on to say there are those who want to control some sense of proprietorship or ownership with regard to student athletes, and the reasons for that are scary, end quote. Andy Geiger spoke with Mike Tirico, who will call the game for us tonight down in San Antonio earlier this afternoon, about this latest mishap with Ohio State.
We are constantly searching for issues like this. We have 4 full-time lawyers who happen to be work in our compliance department. I think we have a very strong booster education program. I think we try very hard to find out exactly what's happening in our program. We are dependent upon boosters. Boosters has taken on kind of a negative connotation, but every athletic program in the country that's at the Division 1A level seeks support in one form or another from alumni and friends of the institution. Good boosters are terrific, and that's exactly what you want. The rogue booster is what you constantly worry about and what causes you sleep. It's impossible to know what you don't know. When you find out something, you automatically delve into that situation to find out if there's other history.
Good booster versus rogue booster is exactly what has happened in this case, according to the numerous stories that have been written. One booster actually turned in another. He was investigating a complaint at his company, a company that has employed some Buckeye athletes in the past, and discovered that Troy Smith was paid by Robert Baker. The booster who blew the whistle in this case was Jeffrey Webster. But there have been a lot of little leaks popping up in various places, problems within the Ohio State administration. Mark, where do they stand right now long-term at Ohio State?
Well, long-term, it doesn't look rosy or bright for Ohio State. And my concern is we're seeing a pattern develop that's developed at the start of Maurice Claret. And now that trail goes on to Salmi Maldonado, a player that played or that transferred to Maryland that had problems getting his credits transferred from Ohio State to Maryland, academic problems at Ohio State. Now Troy Smith with the allegation that he took money from a booster. This is a pattern that's developing at Ohio State. If this pattern does continue at Ohio State, ultimately, someone's going to pay a price. And I see it as athletic director Andy Geiger and head coach Jim Tressel. I do not think they will survive this situation if this continues. And we've seen this pattern start from months ago. And now it's almost every few weeks, it's another player with something else.
You could almost see it in Geiger's face, too, at times. And he has backed off his stance in talking about that there's no way to monitor what happens with every student athlete. They had a problem in basketball that resulted in Jim O'Brien, the former head coach there, being fired. And with the boosters out there, and he talked about the education program, but at some point, if they don't follow the rules, it's really difficult to know about.
Well, he's right about that. I mean, there's no way, and Jim Tressel said that too, there's no way, you know, unless you put a fort around all the players, it's pretty difficult to know what every player is doing in every circumstance. But the bottom line is this: former players have been quoted as saying everybody knew which boosters you went to get the $100 payoff. I mean, that's the bottom line. If you have 4 full-time lawyers whose job it is to do that, I find it that, you know, that administration is naive to not know who these guys are. Ultimately, Mark May is right. Whether you like it or not, somebody's going to pay the price. These guys will probably end up paying the price.
And it's an unfortunate situation. We're not saying that Jim Tressel or Andy Geiger, or I'm not saying that they are directly at fault. But the bottom line, they are responsible because they are in position over 18, 17, 19-year-old kids where they are in the position to say, hey, I'm responsible for these young men. I've got to stand up and do something about it, and they haven't done it.
How many coaches have said, my whole life depends on 18-year-old kids, right?
Not an easy job.
Not on the field and off.
Many have said that. You know, one of the disturbing statements that has come out in this situation, one of the things that led to the initial complaint at the company that Jeffrey Webster, who turned in the misdoing, worked for, was the allegation that Robert Baker told people after giving Smith the money, quote, now I own him, end quote. There's no exact, no supposition as to what exactly that meant, but some of the employees complained after allegedly hearing him make that statement. We'll continue here on the Crestor halftime report and turn our attention on the field for the upcoming game. On the field, the Miners have been very good in the first half, up 21-13 on Colorado.
Katie was sure of her cholesterol plan. She took medication, she ate right and ran. Yet it wasn't enough to get bad cholesterol low. What's this? I'm still here in the land of no. Switch to Crestor, her doctor said. You're not to blame. All cholesterol drugs simply aren't the same. When Crestor performed in a head-to-head test, its lowering effect was clearly the best. Crestor's proven effective, that's well understood. Would you like to try it? Why, yes. Yes, I would.
Ask your doctor about Crestor. Crestor is not for everyone, including people with liver disease and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor about other medications you are taking, or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as there may be a sign of serious side effects.
Since Katie switched to Crestor, her cholesterol's much less. With Crestor and diet, it's the land of success. Get your free trial today and you just might declare, I'm a Crestor success. Now you're getting somewhere.
Your family just got a whole lot bigger. Now that Singular has joined forces with AT&T Wireless to bring you the largest calling community in America. Talk to any Singular or AT&T Wireless customer for free.
Can you ask someone to pass the gravy?
All 46 million of them. Now with Family Talk, add a member of your family to ours for just $9.99 a line. The new Singular, raising the bar.
We're at halftime in Houston, the EV1.net Houston Bowl. Colorado trailing UTEP 21-13 at the brink. Well, it wasn't that long ago that Paul Pasqualoni got a vote of confidence at Syracuse. That vote of confidence turned into a pink slip with the arrival of new athletic director Darryl Gross. Pasqualoni was fired just 3 weeks after being assured that he would be back for his 15th season with the Orange. Syracuse ended its season this year with a loss to Georgia Tech in the Champs Sports Bowl. Darryl Gross in UAD there saying he's looking for someone with college and pro coaching experience. Well, later on tonight, we'll turn our attention down to San Antonio, the MasterCard Alamo Bowl between Ohio State and Oklahoma State. Buckeyes making a lot of news off the field, but there is a game to be played. Mike Tirico and the guys will be there to call it for us. Mike?
Yeah, Reese, there's plenty of news off there. I think it's kind of been reported out of proportion. It is not as though the Troy Smith thing happened in the last 24 hours. The details behind it happened. However, to be fair and to report it proportionally, this has been known for a week, and the individuals involved were known earlier this week. So all the talk about it is relevant because people are speaking. However, in proportion, it's not like it has any impact on the players that they're hearing a lot of new things that are going on. Try to report the facts to you. Troy Smith not playing on this field tonight. Troy Smith's impact, huge. The Buckeyes look different. They won 4 of their last 5 when he played. He gave them some wiggle. There's some excitement with he and Teddy get on the offense. He's not here. Kirk, it means Justin Zwick plays for the first time in 10.5 weeks. Zwick's the guy who beat Smith out for the starting job back in summer.
Well, if you compare the two, and first of all, you talk about the momentum that was created by what Troy Smith did in the last 4 weeks of the season. Looking at the Michigan game, it just really came to a point where Ohio State became a completely different team offensively with his ability to run and throw. Justin Zwick gets an opportunity to step back into the starting role, a position that he was familiar with. I think the experience that he had early in the year will allow him to settle in early tonight and make plays. The big thing is find a way to get the football to Teddy Ginn. He's got some great playmakers, Antonio Holmes, some others, but I think the #1 guy that he's got to get the football in the hands of is Teddy Ginn, the true freshman who I would put up there with Reggie Bush and Devin Hester as the best playmakers in college football. We saw in the second half of the season as a punt returner and as a receiver, he got more familiar with his role as a wide receiver. He became a player that can make great plays. And in this game against an Oklahoma State secondary that's been prone to giving up big plays through the air, Justin Zwick can throw the football downfield. Keep in mind, Teddy Ginn and Santonio Holmes will look for some one-on-one matchups against that defense.
All right, Oklahoma State story. Tis the season to be involved in a coaching room. And Les Miles, the excellent head coach in Oklahoma State, is just that. He has been one of the many names mentioned with the LSU job, mentioned prominently. I spoke to the athletic director at Oklahoma State today who told me that normally when somebody asks for permission, he doesn't give it to them to talk to them in season. It disrupts what's going on. However, that doesn't stop LSU from contacting Les Miles. Nobody would say yes or no if Les has talked to LSU. Lee, why does everybody want a piece of the Oklahoma State coach?
Let's take a look at Les Miles, the Oklahoma State coach. First of all, let's take a look at his background. As an assistant coach, he was at the University of Michigan when they had all those great football teams. Then he went to the Dallas Cowboys for 3 years, which automatically, being in the National Football League, makes him brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. If you get NFL, boy, you're brilliant. But now let's take a look at what he's done now. He's the only football coach in the country that's beaten Bobby Stoops twice. This is his 3rd straight bowl game at Oklahoma State. Now, why is he such a great prospect? Because he's a winner. He comes from a great background. And let me tell you something. If he gets a chance to go to LSU, hello, that's one of the great jobs in America.
The Oak State folks are hoping he stays. He's got an exciting running back in Vernon Morency, who we will see in action tonight. See you after the EV1.net Houston Bowl. It's nice being on the field, you guys.
This is
I'm ready
great.
to hit you. Can I hit you?
Go ahead. I'm see my agent
guys,
about
see
that.
you later.
All about leverage, Mike, all about leverage. And UTEP's got a little bit. Stretching into the end zone, Miners of Mike Price on top 21-13 at the break.
Meet Stan Stump.
That'll be $50.
Let's make it 100.
Stan likes to overpay for everything.
Can't go a penny under 20,000. 50,000. And that's my final offer.
Stan pays his internet service provider $25 a month when he could choose everyone's internet and get WebJet and all these features for just $10 a month. Don't be as dumb as a stump. Everyone's internet, just $10.
Will you take 20?
fresh, made to order. Sonic's got it, others don't. At Sonic, you won't find any microwaves around here, but you will find delicious all-beef burgers served with the freshest ingredients around and made after you order them, the way you like them. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
The death-defying action thriller lives again in a 2-disc special edition DVD loaded with over 6 hours of special features. Live on the edge. Resident Evil Apocalypse on DVD.
It's where academics count. It's where athletes count. It's where alumni count. Count it all up, and you'll have a crystal clear picture of what we believe, who we are, and what we do. Our purpose, our focus, our passion. We are the Western Athletic Conference, where actions count.
Nortana is going to show us how Comcast Video Mail helps families stay close. And how easy it is to use.
Hi, buddy. I hope you're not being too much of a chatterbox.
Hey, Motor Mouth, Video Mail is back.
Hey, how'd you couldn't for us? Couldn't you?
Fish.
Okay, Chapter 11.
Introducing Video Mail, included with Comcast high-speed internet in a class by itself.
The road to a successful career in automotive technology starts at Triton College. Triton gives students the latest hands-on skills they need to succeed in this competitive field. And many Triton students earn while they learn by working in the service departments of sponsoring dealers. It's no wonder Triton is the only GM and Toyota NATEP certified degree program in the area. Turn your passion into a profession. Triton College, smarter.
This halftime report is presented by Crestor. Visit Crestor.com and ask your doctor if Crestor is right for you.
Some hardware available during Bowl Week. The Bowl Challenge Cup, presented by Cooper Tires, goes to the conference with the best winning percentage. And look at the Western Athletic Conference.
Off to a great start again.
UTEP stepping up as well. A couple of conferences yet to play. Alabama will play first for the SEC on New Year's Eve. In the Big Ten, Ohio State starts tonight. You know what? Big 12 North, 2-10 the previous 3 years in Bowl. Colorado out of the Big 12 North. Iowa State's got to win. We'll see if the Buffs can rally.
You've heard there's better surfing than you'd ever expect. That doesn't cost a fortune and you get some respect. Well, somebody's made it easy, someone who really cares. So jump on board, we've got a world to share. Just $10 a month, are you listening yet? Catch a new wave, it's everyone's internet. Just $10 a month, why aren't you with us yet? Catch a new wave, it's everyone's internet.
Yeah, I'm trying to add a new car to my policy online, and Oh, you don't do that? No. Can I pay my bill online? You don't do that either? No. You don't do that? Okay. So, what do you do?
Hey, think easier. Think Progressive. Our top-rated website lets you do virtually everything with your policy, easily and instantly. Check out Progressive.com.
Introducing New Edge Advanced, a refreshingly cool formula for an irresistibly cool shave. Cool. Mark at the door. Isabella.
Marco.
This is my roommate, Frank.
Ciao, Francesco.
Francesco. New Edge Advanced. Refresh your shave.
Welcome back, everyone. Reliant Stadium in Houston, Texas for the EV1.net Houston Bowl. UTEP leading 21-13. Mike Price looking for his 9th win of the season in what might be the biggest comeback story in college football this year, both professionally and as a team. Gary Barnett, meanwhile, certainly has overcome his share of obstacles. His team took a 3-0 lead, but then fell behind to where we are right now. Barnett, the coach of the year in the Big 12 Conference.
Colorado gets the football again here to start the second half. Remember, back to the end of the first half, they had an opportunity for a touchdown. self-destructed, then an opportunity for a chip shot field goal, but missed it. But they get the opportunity to go back on offense right here.
A short kick comes down to the 25. Take a look at our ESPN game track after that return by Brendan Shaw. But some good running down in the goal line area by the Miners. But then behind the freshman, Hugh Charles, the Buffaloes rallied a little bit, but a big day for Jordan Palmer. 13 of 18 in the first half. That touchdown pass to Boyd. In fact, both quarterbacks went 13 of 18 in the first half. First down and 10 for the Buffaloes with the ball. Purify. Squared those shoulders. Looks like there's a flag down on the far side of the field. As Purify got out near the first down, that might be a hold against Clint O'Neill. Starting right tackle.
Boy, you hate to start the second half like that. And you see the look on Gary Barnett's face. Excellent field position. Chance to gain some positive yards. Now it's going backwards.
Holding. Offense number 73. 10-yard penalty. 3 feet first down.
Bob, Gary Barnett talked about this game being the first game of next year, but we'll talk about that after the replay.
Well, right there, you see the takedown right there by number 73, Clint O'Neill. No question, Mark. But getting back to your point.
Yeah, I was going to say that Barnett approaching this game as the first game of the 2005 season, but that does bring some consequences. That was the freshman, Hugh Charles. Bob, what about the seniors, the 4 starting seniors and the others on the Colorado roster? Do you risk losing them if you're looking too far ahead to the future? Do you lose them for this game?
Well, I don't think it's unique that head coaches take the approach that it is the first game of next year, particularly after the devastating loss in the Big 12 championship. I think you take for granted, Mark, that your seniors, this being their last football game, they're going to play their best game. And you talk about the younger guys winning it for the seniors, even though it's the first game of next year. So, bottom line, I don't know that any of that matters because all that matters is when these lights come on in this stadium.
2nd and 18, and Klatt going up top. Incomplete at the 25-yard line, and let's go downstairs to Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, I checked in with Coach Gary Barnett for Colorado at half, and I asked him what was the bottom line here in the second half. He said, play smarter. He is frustrated by all of the penalties. As you saw, they did another one just there on their opening series. But he's also frustrated by their ability to not make the critical plays. He said they gave up 3 third and longs on that last scoring drive by UTEP. He said we were in the position, we had the routes covered, we didn't make the plays. He wants his team to get their head back in this game, play smarter here in the second half.
All right, Holly, and you have to wonder how much of a hangover this team still might have after getting pasted by Oklahoma 42-3 in the Big 12 championship game. 3rd and 18 for the Buffaloes. Under heat. Purify brought down far shy of the first down at the 23. A group of tacklers led by Perez. And it's 3 and out for Colorado on their first offensive possession. The penalty really a killer.
Yeah, and a continuation of the self-destruction from the first half. And Perez right here, an excellent job of sifting through the blockers. And a great tackle right there.
John Torp into punt.
Again, Colorado #1 in the nation this year in net punting.
Torp with just his 2nd punt of the day. 2nd team All Big 12 and All-American candidate. The lefty with another booming shot, which drives Jamal Fenner back to his own 20. Fenner returns it out to the 28-yard line. Got about 10 on the return after that 56-yard punt. And tomorrow night, Capital One Bowl Week continuing with the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl. Texas Tech against Cal. And J.J. Arrington, one of the top running backs in the nation. Texas Tech, the top-ranked passing offense in the country. Contrasting styles, but lots of points on the board offensively for sure in this one. It starts with College Game Day Scoreboard Show, the preview. 1st down and 10. UTEP's first turn of the second half. Palmer completes it at the 38-yard line into some heavy traffic, but Chris Francis, the 6'1 junior, picked up 10.
And you have to love the presence of Jordan Palmer. He's going to get hit pretty good right here as he unleashes this ball, but he stayed in there, and watch him throw this curl route against good coverage right there. I'm impressed with Jordan Palmer.
If you're just joining us, he didn't start playing quarterback until his senior year of high school. He is the younger brother of the former Heisman Trophy winner Carson Palmer, now with the Cincinnati Bengals for sure, we're told, watching this game today.
I'll tell you what, he looks a lot like
Doesn't he?
Carson as well. His only offer coming out of high school was UTEP. The best thing that ever happened to Jordan Palmer, Mike Price coming to El Paso.
Has a proclivity for starting those tall quarterbacks like Drew Bledsoe and Ryan Leaf before him at different schools. We'll be back with more after this.
Meet Stan Stump.
That'll be $50.
Let's make it 100.
Stan likes to overpay for everything.
Can't go a penny under 20,000. 50,000. And that's my final offer.
Stan pays his internet service provider $25 a month when he could choose everyone's internet and get web chat and all these features for just $10 a month. Don't be as dumb as a stump. Everyone's internet, just $10.
Will you take 20?
For the 34th year in a row, the Chevrolet Scholarship Program salutes college football's finest. To date, Chevrolet has proudly donated over $8.5 million to American colleges and universities. Our Offensive Player of the Year is Oklahoma University senior quarterback Jason White. This 2003 Heisman Trophy winner and 2004 finalist has set school records for both touchdown passes and consecutive completions. In 2004 alone, he completed 65% of his passes, totaling 2,961 yards and 33 touchdowns. Our Defensive Player of the Year is University of Texas senior linebacker Derek Johnson. This 2004 Butkus Award winner holds the UT record with 65 tackles for a loss and a Longhorn linebacker record with 9 career interceptions. Chevy is proud to support athletes like Jason and Derek, players that use ingenuity and determination to achieve their best. Chevy, an American revolution.
Well, this is it, team. The day we've all been waiting for. Today we have the unique opportunity to show the whole country how good we really are. So I want you to go out there and give it everything you've got, 110%. But remember, win or lose, I want you to represent your university with class. You give respect and you get respect. So go out there and make us proud.
Brought to you in the interest of better sportsmanship by the Big 12 Conference.
Well, a couple of days ago at the EV1.net Bowl Week, activities, including a visit to the hospital, the Ronald McDonald House in Houston, by UTEP players. Players met with patients, signed some autographs there, and brought smiles to the kids who were there. And, you know, it's interesting, Bob, there's so many people that claim there are too many bowl games. What they don't see are the activities like this, some of the meaningful, significant things, the contributions to the community that are made by the bowl activities, the players, the coaches.
And it's so much fun to see UTEP's players that do not take this for granted. I mean, they love the idea of being here.
To the backfield complete. Merrill stopped on a dime, didn't leave change, but he left the ball behind. It's loose, and the Buffaloes may have gotten it. It's coming back the other way. Chris Merrow got hit, and Mike Hankwitz's defense comes up with a turnover.
A tremendous effort by Chris Merrow, but so many times you see when a guy is spinning, trying to get extra yardage, he coughs up the football right here. I mean, this is an unbelievable effort. Now, when the ball comes out, UTEP should have recovered it right here, but the ball goes through the offensive lineman's hands, and Jordan dives on the true freshman from Hawaii, comes up with the fumble recovery.
That was the first turnover of the day. First down and 10. Flag down.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 73. 5-yard penalty.
More self-destruction by Colorado. Let's go downstairs to Holly.
Well, guys, Jordan Dyson is a true freshman for Colorado at linebacker. He grew up in Hawaii, and he actually credits some of his hunting skills for his tackling skills. He grew up chasing wild boars. He and his buddies would chase those wild pigs, track them down, tackle them, and kill them. I think right there, getting that loose pigskin, I think that may have helped him recovering that fumble.
Yeah, Holly, maybe a little flashback.
That's
kind of dangerous, man.
Holly's been waiting on the exact time to come with that pigskin chasing the pig story now. I mean, did we fit that in there at the exact time for her?
He was the Big 12's defensive newcomer of the year. And the pass complete for the first down at the 29-yard line. Good sling and catch by Klopstein.
And Kloppenstein is a talent, 6'6". You're going to watch him go right down the seam here against the 3-deep coverage. 6'6", 250. They're going to try to get him on safeties. That time the zone blitz hit the ball right down the seam against 3-deep.
Kloppenstein making just his first catch of the night. Picked up 23, first and 10. Purify on the carry, and Purify stopped up after a gain of about 1 yard. That offensive line for Colorado, pretty big, and they've been around, and boy, they've started every game this year. Wilder, Barrow, Fenton, Daniels, and O'Neal trying to clear a little room for Purify.
For the first time in a long time, all 5 offensive linemen for Colorado that I've heard of played all year without injury, which is amazing up front to have that kind of continuity through the course of a football season.
A couple of seniors and 3 sophomores up front. Second down and 8. Little play fake. And the pass is complete to Kloppenstein again. So they're starting to ring his number, and he picks up 17. He beat Fenner on the play.
And Kloppenstein, we said he was athletic. He comes off right here and runs a corner route, and watch this catch. Great extension right there. You know, you find a big guy with those kind of soft hands. That's a unique combination.
Kind of reminds you of another Buffalo, Christian Fourier, back in the day.
Ooh, played against him.
And back just a little bit, first down and 10. Purify.
And you get the feeling right here, Colorado making some plays, particularly the tight end Kloppenstein, but they're still a little bit fragile, particularly in the red zone. At the end of the first half, they self-destructed. So important right here on 2nd and 10, Joel Klatt is going to have to make a play right here.
Klatt is the unquestioned, unmitigated leader of that offense, maybe of the team. A 22-year-old junior within sniffing distance of the end zone. Looking into the end zone. Incomplete and no flag. It'll be third down for Colorado. Bleskoski, the starting strong safety, back there in defense.
And this is just what Colorado wanted. Watch the tight end. He's matched up on the safety right here. It's going to be one-on-one, and they're going to run the corner route. They wanted to get Joe Bleskoski matched up. And right here, really pretty good coverage right there. But that is the matchup. They want Kloppenstein on the safety.
That's why they call him Joe Fly back there in the secondary. There he is. Third and 10. Heat coming, and Klatt is sacked back at the 20. The Miner defense digging in and coming up with a play. Alex Obamise.
And it is obvious that if Colorado has to drop back and throw the football, Mark, they cannot protect this undersized front for UTEP.
That was one of the big question marks coming in, Bob, was the discrepancy in size between the offensive front of Colorado and that quick defensive line.
Well, I mean, Obamise, the defensive end, just ran around the big offensive tackle.
But fear not, because Mason Crosby knocks through the field goal from 37 yards out. He is now 3 of 4 on the day, but Colorado creeping just a little bit closer when we come back.
biggest splash? The new char-grilled chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. Rebuilt from the wheat bun up, it's our best char-grilled chicken sandwich ever.
Want to do more, sports fans? Plan a weekend in Houston, because Space City is also Sports City. Host of the EV1.net Houston Bowl, we're also home to nearly every major professional sports team, like the Houston Astros, Rockets, and Texans. Want to play a round of golf? Check out our pleasant year-round temperatures and courses galore. And your dining and nightclub options? We have them all. So start packing, sports fans. For information, log on to visithoustontexas.com.
It's wonderful. It's incredible.
It's something only Wendy's could do.
It's amazing.
Introducing combo choices.
Oh, thanks.
Choose fries, chili, baked potato, side, or Caesar side salad at no extra cost. Dave Thomas knew his customers liked the choice.
A combo with a side salad.
So choose Wendy's. It's better here. Our pickup window is open till midnight or later.
No. Nope. Mm-mm. No. You, get in the van.
It's Team Bam versus Team Hawk in Tony Hawk's Underground 2. This time, it's not just about skating, it's about mayhem. Tag it, slap it, thrash it, blast it on a totally underground, definitely illegal world destruction tour. Tony Hawk's Underground 2, rated T for Teen.
ESPN's presentation of the 2004 EV1.net Houston Bowl. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. The Greater Houston Convention and Visitors Bureau. Space City, a space of infinite possibilities. And City, proud sponsor of the 2005 Rose Bowl. New Year's Day on ABC.
A look at downtown Houston, aglow at night, the Galleria Mall section and Westheimer Avenue.
About 72 degrees.
Beautiful.
Oh. This has a chance to be a great bowl game with this stadium, obviously in the state of Texas.
They've done a wonderful job putting this one together. Jackson takes a knee. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. And let's go downstairs to Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, when Mike Price had that job at Alabama and got fired, he had hired his two sons, so consequently, they lost their job as well. Their families had just purchased homes in Tuscaloosa. They're still staying there, but they had a year away from football. So what they do, they bought an RV. Aaron and Eric jumped in that RV, went all across the country from coast to coast, 52 different games, both professional and college football games. They said it was a blast because they got to be actual fans. And what did they learn from sitting in the stand? That they're just like every other fan, questioning every call.
Interesting gain of perspective there. Jackson on the carry. Yeah, they said they hit Washington State, Michigan, Florida, and when they were all finished, I guess they sold the RV. That's better than having the league pass, isn't it? I mean, the college game ticket?
Can you imagine, though, Mike Price goes to Alabama. I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood of a $10 million contract. He had not signed the contract. He has his two sons. We look at Eric there, the offensive coordinator, and Aaron. He gets fired. He goes from a $10 million contract to nothing. And now those two sons stay in Tuscaloosa over the next fall. That is an unbelievably difficult situation for that family. So whether you agree with Mike Price or disagree, I think most people would have to understand the human drama, I guess, in getting fired at Alabama, then your son staying in Tuscaloosa. That's an unbelievable story. It really is.
One of family overcoming hardships. Mike Price and his family being able to do so.
And what's great, they get a chance to do it again here at UTEP and give Bob Stahl, the AD, a lot of credit for having enough courage to make that decision.
Third down and 6, going up top for Boyd, and it's picked off. Number 9, Tom Hubbard, came up with the interception right at midfield. That's the second turnover today for UTEP. And Colorado's 14th interception of the season.
And Tom Hubbard at 6'5". You're going to watch right here. He is going to come off the hash and give this corner help. And Tom Hubbard is 6'5", was a quarterback in high school. Here, Jordan Palmer launches that ball up there, and an excellent break. Not a bad decision by Jordan Palmer because he had the huge size advantage, but the ball was underthrown.
Colorado, meanwhile, coming back with good field position here. Monte in motion. Wide open. Klockstein. Klockstein down to the 32-yard line.
And this second half is all about UTEP turnovers and Kloppenstein, the tight end, making plays for Colorado.
Kloppenstein now with 3 receptions for a total of 57 yards.
And you see Colorado has to be able to run the ball in play action. Their Achilles heel is drop back passing and protection.
They have stammered inside the red zone. Pass is complete to Monte. Brought down at the 26-yard line by Adrian Ward. Ward, the senior out of Oakland, California. First team All-Western Athletic Conference.
And a great job by Adrian Ward of breaking down in the open field, getting himself in a football position right here to make this tackle. Watch. Right here, he's going to square himself up. That is a great job of being patient right there. Let Monte make all those moves and just sit there and wait and be patient. That was a clinic on tackling right there in the open field.
He's right at his jersey numbers. This time it's Hugh Charles on 2nd and 4. You have something on tackling like that in Football 101?
I may have to add that, but the problem right now, UTEP turnovers. This defense has scrambled around all afternoon. A 3rd down and short. What a great time for a play action pass to big Kloppenstein right now, the tight end.
3rd down 1.
And an unusual formation, the old Gator formation.
Wow.
Spread out across the field. They're going to...
Sean Watson mixing it up here. They complete it, but I'm not sure they made the first down. Little Hales.
Why?
It's ruled incomplete. 4th down. Oh,
you have
it's complete, but 4th down.
Mark, you have to wonder, and I don't second-guess calls, but of all the things you could have done in that situation at 3rd and 1, to come up with that formation and just totally roll the dice and try to trick them right there on 3rd and 1, when you have all the momentum on your side, why do you call that in that situation?
Well, as a result, in comes Mason Crosby once again, this one coming from 42. And he misfires to the left.
Wow.
Now 3 of 5 today.
And put an asterisk by that trick play by Colorado on 3rd down and 1.
Mason Crosby earlier, he made one from over 50 and got a nice shoe shine. Not this time. We'll be right back.
Stop my side hurt.
And then the doctor said, I'm going to hook you with the bill.
No, he didn't. You made that up.
Yeah, he did.
I think I can hear my teeth.
College Game Day, the only pregame show that telecasts live from college campuses, will be covering college basketball.
I suffer from lower back pain.
Doctors can't help me.
I have a herniated
Degenerative disc sciatica burns down my leg.
I don't want surgery.
I live with the pain.
I got help.
So can you. This is the DRX 9000. It offers the most advanced non-surgical treatment for lower back pain. Clinical studies show its advanced technology has an 86% success rate.
Call today for your free consultation to see if you are a candidate for this new breakthrough medical technology.
I saved so much on a new Montego from Ogden Lincoln Mercury that life became unbearable. Everybody came by to see this great deal. It was so overwhelming we had to move and assume new identities. I mean, listen, new Montegos for only $298 a month. And this weekend only, you can get a brand new Mountaineer for the same price, $298 a month. We had to move from all the attention. But we sure did enjoy the drive.
You can see at Ogden Lincoln Mercury.
Capital One Bowl Week continuing from Houston, Texas, home of the rodeo. Bob, I'm going to find me one of those spots to watch that bowl game tonight between Cal and Ohio State. And I'm going to find one of those places, a sports bar with one of those mechanical bulls.
Quit it, man.
And you got my back, right?
I just don't see you.
You got my back, right?
I don't see you hanging out at Billy Bob's.
I'm versatile, baby.
Oh, no.
I'm versatile now.
Not even one of those mechanical bulls do I see you getting there.
Well, Jordan Palmer with a little bit of work to do here on 1st down and 10. He threw an interception on their last possession and almost threw another one at the 30-yard line to Thaddeus Washington.
And let's go back to the previous series on 3rd and 1. Colorado with momentum. They come out in this trick formation. They're going to throw the ball to Little Hales, who we haven't even mentioned his name. He only has 9 catches on the season. And you hate the question calls, because I know as fans, if they work, they're great calls, and if they don't, you question them. But I really did not like that call in that situation.
And compounded by the missed field goal attempt. This is Marcus Thompson carrying the ball for UTEP. UTEP's offense, Bob, has grounded and grinded down almost to a halt here in the second half of play, unable to get much going offensively.
And I'll tell you what, this is an offense that averaged 43 points their last 6 games. The best scoring offense at UTEP since 1950, 4 40-point games. But you see, with a young quarterback in particular, they may be a little bit fragile. And when you turn the ball over, you kind of lose your confidence.
3rd down and 9. Heat coming. Palmer incomplete for Jason Boyd. They brought the house on him that time. It'll be 4th down, but there's a flag down.
Holding. Offense, number 79. Penalties declined. Result of the play, 4th down.
And UTEP struggling. They come out in empty, no backs. If you see right here, they have 5 pass protectors, and Colorado is going to bring 6 defenders on their 5 blockers. Sight adjustment right there. The ball thrown behind the receiver, Jason Boyd. That could have been a home run touchdown because there was no safety in the middle of the field.
And instead now it's 4th and 9. Benecos with his 3rd punt of the game, a high one. Now to the 43. Once again, the Buffaloes going to start off with good field position, but can Joel Klatt take advantage of the field position and this time cash in the red zone? Back with more after this.
Silverado Heavy Duty, with the available Duramax diesel and Allison transmission, has more torque than Ford Super Duty. That's why Silverado's the right truck, the official truck of an American revolution.
Capital One Mascot True Love Challenge.
This week, our mascots will meet Melissa's parents with one chance to make a lasting impression.
Have you hibernated with my daughter? First you bring home a cat, then a dog, and now it's... What exactly are you?
Dad.
Tune in to the Capital One Bowl January 1st to see who's the National Mascot of the Year.
What's in your wallet?
People everywhere are experiencing a breakthrough.
I'm full!
Fullness from a value menu.
This is my dad. He's full.
The Big Bell Value Menu from Taco Bell, with filling items like half-pound burritos and big double tacos, designed to keep your stomach and your wallet full.
What are you supposed to be? I'm full.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a pirate.
Get full on value. Think outside the bun.
Dominic Brooks, the starting strong safety, on the phone, and Oklahoma State taking on Ohio State a little bit later in the MasterCard Alamo Bowl. Coming up, that's tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. Justin Zwick getting the start at quarterback. Roy Smith has been suspended. First down and 10 for Colorado from their own 43. Purify. And Purify with a nice run near the first down at the 46, and there's a flag down near the end of the run. Purify with some pretty good bloodlines as it pertains to football. Webster Slaughter is one of his uncles, formerly of the Cleveland Browns. They're going to tack a little more yardage onto this run.
And Kloppenstein, the tight end who has become the go-to receiver in the second half, does an excellent job blocking on the outside linebacker right here. And we see the personal foul face mask, hard to see, but a 15-yard penalty added on to that. All field position belongs to Colorado here in the second half.
So far unable to really take advantage of it, though, as they're stalled deep inside UTEP territory. I'm Mark Jones along with Bob Davey and Holly Rowe here at the EV1.net Houston Bowl. 4:48 to go in the third quarter. UTEP leading 21-16. The story of the second half is the turnovers by the offense of UTEP, as Purify makes it down to the 25-yard line, stopped up by Robert Rodriguez. Let's go down to Holly.
Well, guys, Bobby Purify has battled his way through his Colorado career, and he was rewarded this year with a great honor. There is an award called the Buffalo Heart Award that the student body of Colorado votes on to the player that establishes the most courage and the most heart. Bobby Purify has played with 2 separated shoulders all year. He's had to take shots before games to deaden the pain. He's got an injured knee tonight, but you wouldn't know it. He's got full of courage, full of heart, and that's why he's this year's Buffalo Heart Award winner.
Yeah, one of the real inspirational leaders on that team. 2nd and 5, screen pass set up well, and Kloppenstein stopped up. Kloppenstein, pardon me, stopped up by Dowdy.
Colorado, a good play-action team, and this is going to be good discipline right here by the safety, Mark Dowdy, as you see Kloppenstein delay and an excellent tackle right there. He was in man-to-man coverage. He was assigned to Kloppenstein. He was disciplined enough, even though Kloppenstein blocked, to hang in there. But again, can Colorado protect in this third down situation?
They're 3 of 10 on third downs today. On the out and up. Complete and a 1st and goal. Catch made by Mackey. Blake Mackey using his speed to get downfield. And he was working on Jamal Fenner. He picked up 20.
And a little double move. You're going to look up here at the top. You're going to get a little hitch and then a go. It's just man-to-man on Jamal Fenner, the cornerback. Excellent concentration and catch by Blake Mackey because he was stumbling a little bit coming out of that break.
1st and goal from the 5 for Colorado. Under 3 minutes to play in the third. Purify stopped up at about the 9 by Ebok. Nice surge on the right side of that defensive front by UTEP. It's interesting how Ebok really impressed by the coaching staff. Got to be impressed by his play here.
And Ebok, again, you're going to see him right here, the 5 technique. He's going to get an awful lot of penetration right here. That's a heck of a play right there. And again, sets up a passing situation here for Colorado. Look for some kind of a sprint out action right here by the quarterback.
Right on the toss. Purify. Got a block out there, makes it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and goal. You can almost feel his pain as he gets up slowly off of the turf. Natural grass surface here at Reliant Stadium.
Kind of a change-up call right there. Caught El Paso a little bit off guard as they came with the sweep with Purify. But to give you an idea what kind of workhorse Bobby Purify is, came into this game with 209 carries, the next ball carrier for Colorado, 60 carries, Lawrence Vickers.
Vickers right now leading the way. He's the fullback. Purify the tailback. Purify again. Stopped up in the backfield at the 3. It'll be 4th and goal. Thomas Howard, second team All-WAC. The junior made the big play. A former walk-on at that.
And you have to love the aggressiveness of this UTEP defense. Again, they run the outside zone play, and an excellent play, Mark, as you mentioned, by Thomas Howard. Sets up another field goal situation. 3 times Colorado has had this football in UTEP's end of the field, and again they settle for a field goal.
Crosby 3 of 5 and barely sneaks that one inside the right upright, so they draw 3 points closer. It's a 21-19 game. Crosby's dad, ironically, is named Jim, a former fullback at UTEP. We'll be back after this.
Capital One Bowl Week continues when Stephon LaFleurs leads Louisville in a shootout with Boise State. The AutoZone Liberty Bowl, Friday at 3:30 on ESPN.
Evening, boys. Looks like you fellas are having some kind of party.
No, sir. No party at all. See, we've had reports of referees taking people's Bud Light and replacing it with Miller Lite. Oh, that's awful. So wrong. That's absolutely. Yeah, it's bad. Listen, guys, I'm going to need to see a receipt for that Bud Light. Jerry, you got that receipt? Yeah, receipt. Yeah, I got it right. Run!
Some people will do anything to get the great taste of Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here.
We got zebras on the run requesting backups.
Assurance in rain means Goodyear's deeply carved aqua chutes propel water away from your tread. Assurance on ice means Goodyear's interlocking treads deliver gripping power. Assurance on dry pavement means Goodyear's reinforced shoulders give you confident maneuvering. The revolutionary new Goodyear Assurance with triple tread technology for assurance in any weather on the wings of Goodyear.
Don't worry, kids. High five.
Should we call someone?
Put the phone down. Come on. What did I tell you?
You said not to call me for 7.
That's right. And besides, we're rolling.
Daytime calls costing you a fortune?
Oh, no. Oh.
Come to T-Mobile and talk whenever nationwide.
Use it whenever.
T-Mobile gives you the most whenever minutes. 1,000 for just $39.99.
T-Mobile, get more.
Well, the Miners jumped out to a 14-3 lead after the first quarter, but since that time, they have been outscored 16-7 by Colorado. It's 21-19. The Buffalo's about to kick off. And Platt, the quarterback, working the phones. You get the feeling that, boy, with a couple of breaks either way, this team, Colorado, could be up a touchdown or a little bit more. As UTEP will start off on its own 20-yard line. How do you get Jordan Palmer back into the mix now, Bob, offensively?
I think the first thing, they are struggling right now on offense. 8 plays in the second half, the third quarter of this football game with 40 seconds left. 8 plays for 25 yards, 2 turnovers, and a 3 and out. And I think anytime you turn the football over like they did on their first 2 possessions, you become fragile and you lose some confidence. They need to go back and let it rip like they did early in the football game. Easier said than done, though.
That might include a little more touches for Jackson. They're going to go up top. On the post. Complete. Boyd. Down to the 25-yard line. A pickup of 55.
We talked about Colorado's undersized corners. Jordan Palmer lays this thing out there, and Jason Boyd goes up over the top. Lorenzo Sims mistimed that jump, and that's what they needed to do. Let it rip and get this offense back in sync. But the Achilles heel for Colorado, undersized corners, playmaking ability out on the edge.
One fell swoop down to the 25, and now this. Boyd once again. It's 1st and goal for the Miners at the 4. 2 major chunks of real estate in 2 plays. They're in scoring range after a 21-yard pickup this time.
and a great play call right there by UTEP, going right back to Jason Boyd. And Carson who? That's Jordan Palmer.
Yeah, get it right, folks. Boyd, a career-high day for him. 7 catches for 140 yards and within scoring range. With 15 minutes to play now, that's the end of the third quarter. Some images from today's game. A show of force by Coach Price to start. Klatt with poise, Barnett with enthusiasm, and shine them up because we got a good one coming up. 15 more minutes.
The best golf in the world live from Paradise, the Mercedes Championships on ESPN.
The line between form and function just became razor thin. The Motorola Razr, only from the new Singular. The new Singular, raising the bar.
You want the headlines? Just the weather. Partly sunny, high 60. How about Detroit? Oregon or Michigan? Both. Overcast, rain later, and fair. Feels like 64. What's the largest democracy in the world? India. Abalone is what? Sea mollusk. Knicks or Lakers? Knicks. What's the speed of light? 186,000 miles per second. How do hurricanes get their names? There's a list. Can I get on the list? What's your name? Scooter. Doubt it. You seem to have all the answers. I'm a reporter. That's my job. You want the headlines now? No, just the weather.
On your mark. Get set. Save.
Circuit City's after-holiday clearance sale is going on now, with huge savings on the biggest brands throughout the store. Get up to 10% off all digital TVs, $6.99 and up. Find sale and clearance prices on digital cameras and digital camcorders. Plus, all car electronics are on sale. Don't miss the huge savings in every department at Circuit City's after-holiday clearance sale.
Back for the start of the fourth quarter at the EV1.net Houston Bowl. I'm Mark Jones along with Bob Davey. Holly Rowe down to the field. Mike Price choreographing the best story perhaps in college football this year.
And you see why. We talked about UTEP in a funk offensively. They had to let it rip, and Mike Price let it rip on those last 2 throws by Jordan Palmer.
And now the handoff to Jackson. And he stopped up after a gain of about 1. Those 2 plays covering 55, then 21 yards.
And I think that's what you love. In fact, I know that's what you love about Mike Price. He has fun coaching. His players have fun playing. And when you come out in pregame and put a spike in the ground or a pick in the ground like he does, I think that says it all. And that was a great job of coming back and going on the offensive again when you had a struggling offensive football team.
2nd and goal. Palmer into the end zone. Touchdown, Higgins.
You are seeing a young quarterback that's about 6'5" come of age right now.
Jordan Palmer fired a dart to Johnny Lee Higgins for the touchdown. So in 4 plays, they virtually cover the field. And UTEP now with a 9-point lead just underway here in the fourth quarter of play. Johnny Lee Higgins, big catch.
And Jordan Palmer is not afraid to throw it in traffic. Johnny Lee Higgins is not open by much, but they continue to pick on these Colorado corners, and UTEP receivers have much, much more confidence than the Colorado corners have.
Price obviously happy with the 3-for-3 performance of Palmer on that drive, and yesterday Holly Rowe caught up with him.
What's it like coaching this time around?
Well, it's a lot of fun. I think I'm more able to stop and smell the roses a little bit, but I've always enjoyed coaching and tried to make football fun, you know, especially for this team. They had 2 or 3 two-win seasons for 3 years. They weren't having a lot of fun. So we instilled a fun program into this, and the most fun's winning on Saturdays. There's no doubt about that.
Said that he's enjoying himself more than any other time in his coaching career. A man who gave up a $1.3 million contract when he was dismissed from Alabama, now making a reported $225,000 per year, not including, though, the various incentives at UTEP, which really added to his salary this year. Those incentives based on attendance in part. Hugh Charles on the return. And Bob, the attendance a big success story too at UTEP. They averaged almost 40,000, a little over 40,000.
That is amazing. And last year they averaged about 20,000. But he does things different. And again, back to my point, he's a better fit at UTEP than Alabama. To give you an idea, in the past, UTEP has gone to preseason camp at New Mexico Tech. They stayed 16 days. This year he took that football team. They only stayed 7 days because he wanted this football team rested. So he likes them to have fun. He wants his football team to be rested. And he has that whole city of UTEP in his hip pocket right now, Mark.
Glatt trying to take it back and wide open over the middle. Klostein still on his feet. Klostein got it back. Little payback in a quick way. An 80-yard bolt. How do you like him now?
I'll tell you what, it looked like Ralphie leading the Colorado football team out of the tunnel. The big tight end Kloppenstein. Wow. That was a big buffalo running down the middle of that football field, Mark.
5 catches, 134 yards, and more importantly, seizing back, wresting control now of the momentum after it had violently swung the other way in UTEP's favor. It's back with Colorado. And a chance to cut the lead to 2 now on the extra point. Joe Klostein with an 80-yard touchdown catch. And we've got a 2-point football game, so the UTEP side of the field
and we
definitely silent now.
And we talked about Colorado's plan, get Kloppenstein matched up on the safety, play action pass, and I mean there is a void in the middle of the field, and he breaks the tackle right there of Quentin Dimps, and now this is Ralphie, the Buffalo, on the loose.
Klostein, no ordinary Joe. Back with more after this.
Let's talk about better. When someone says something's better, it's usually just their opinion. So if you suffer from acid reflux disease, frequent heartburn, and I told you prescription Nexium heals acid-related damage in the esophagus better, you'd want proof. And now, your doctor has that proof.
Recent medical studies prove Nexium heals that damage better than the other leading prescription medicine. No wonder they call Nexium the healing purple pill. This is big news, so call your doctor today and ask if Nexium is right for you. Because if left untreated, the damage could get worse. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. The most common side effects of Nexium are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain.
Hey, with Nexium, you don't just feel better, you are better.
And better is better. For a free trial offer for Nexium, visit us at purplepill.com or call 1-800-4-NEXIUM.
There's a power so awesome, so irresistible, you'll do anything to get your hands on it. Introducing M3 Power, the first battery-powered shaving system from Gillette. It has M3 Power Glide blades with a patented comfort coating for less irritation. Turn it on and micropulses raise the hair so the blades can shave closer. A battery-powered razor with our most advanced blades. Together they give you the world's best shave. M3 Power from Gillette.
Grilled.
Want something grilled? Taco Bell is open late. Feed your need for all the grilled, marinated, spicy, crunchy, and melty taste you can only get at Taco Bell. Want to spice up the night? Think outside the bun. Open till midnight or later.
If nothing else, this Colorado team in 2004 has shown the resilience reflected on its coach, inherited from its head coach, Gary Barnett. They bounce back with a quick 80-yard touchdown pass to Kloppenstein, and they are right back in the game.
Kloppenstein in this second half is putting on a show from that tight end position.
On the return, Higgins, and Higgins stopped up short of the 20 at the 17-yard line. Bob, how did he get so wide open on that play?
Well, we talked about getting Kloppenstein on the safety. We let this roll. The first thing is we get play action pass. And if we stop it right here, they're going to take the safety right here, and they're going to split him. They have Kloppenstein down the middle and Vickers right here, so they have 2-on-1 on the safety playing quarters coverage. Now the ball's thrown right down the middle of the field, and the backside safety, Quentin Demps, right here has to make that tackle. But that's 265 pounds taking it down the end zone. So they split the safety, and the backside free safety had to come across, and he missed the tackle.
Might be easier tackling Ralphie, like you said. Meanwhile, Colorado calls a timeout defensively. And we're going to take one right along with them. So, last time out, Jordan Palmer answered with a volley of his own. We'll see what he does when we come back.
You've heard there's better surfing than you'd ever expect. That doesn't cost a fortune and you get some respect. Well, somebody's made it easy, someone who really cares. So jump on board, we've got a world to share. Just $10 a month, are you listening yet? Catch a new wave, it's everyone's internet. Just $10 a month, why aren't you with us yet? Catch a new wave, it's everyone's internet.
What's that?
Oh, it's a duvet cover.
A what?
A duvet cover. It's a decorative sham that also protects. Watch the game. The double quarter pounder with cheese. Pound one. Oh!
I'm loving it.
What? It's a throw pillow.
You said in my bra strap. I'm sorry, I've been standing outside. My hands are freezing.
Winter X Games 9, January 29th to February 1st, live at 9 p.m. on ESPN. Presented by Schick. Okay, so you shave in the morning, but your date isn't until 7 p.m. What do you think your beard's doing all day? Taking a nap? Well, it's not. So fight your 5 o'clock shadow with this. Introducing the new Schick Quattro Midnight. With 4 blades and 2 conditioning strips, you get an incredibly close, smooth shave. And that'll keep you smooth into the night. If you don't think that's important, ask her. The new Schick Quattro Midnight, the power of 4.
The critics declare victory for Call of Duty. Game Informer Online says it's the most intense and realistic combat ever. GameSpy heralds it as one of the most exciting console shooters in years. Rolling Stone calls it breathtaking. Call of Duty, finest hour, rated T.
And happy holidays, everyone, from all of us at ESPN to all of you at home, and all the best in upcoming 2005. This is the EV1.net Houston Bowl. I'm Mark Jones along with Bob Davey, Holly Rowe down in the field. First down and 10 for UTEP. Trying to answer the score moments ago by Colorado and trying to get it back in a hurry. Higgins incomplete at the 42 and no flag. Garrett Burrow on the defensive end of the play.
And make no doubt what the plan is. Go after Colorado's corners every time and launch it up there to your receivers. And right here, I thought this should have been pass interference on Garrett Burrow. Let's look at it again. I thought he mugged him right there. Looked like it should have been pass interference because he made no effort to play the football at all.
He ran through the arm of Higgins on his way to making the play.
And Lorenzo Sims Number 22 is out of the game at corner. So strap it on if you're Colorado's corners. They're coming after you.
Here's Jackson, another option running the ball. Howard Jackson with a nice run, push, got a nice block too, a pickup of 11. Let's go down to Hawley.
Guys, the Colorado secondary was already very thin. They lost one of their corners when he transferred at the beginning of the season. They lost their starting safety, J.J. Billingsley, when he went down with a knee injury. Right now, Lorenzo Sims, their other starting corner, he is questionable to return for this game. He has been dinged. He does not appear to be passing their concussion tests right now on the sideline with some balance issues. So right now in his place, it will be sophomore Garrett Burrell. Garrett, though, playing with an injured hand. Also, Dominic Brooks was injured earlier in this game. He's taped up and playing with a very sore ankle, guys. So we'll see how this Colorado secondary can hold up under this mounting pressure.
Wow, Holly, last game of the season, just 13 minutes to go. Toss into the boundary. Jackson, nowhere to go. Buffalo swarming to the football at the 26-yard line.
And again, we have to go back and talk. What an amazing story for Colorado to be in this bowl game, dealing with the scandal that hit in the spring. And one thing I think Gary Barnett's done a great job of, it's human nature to say it's us against the world. And I'm talking about Gary Barnett and his football team. But if you do that, that's really kind of short-sighted, and you become negative, and you really alienate yourself even farther from the community and the rest of the campus. He has done a good job of staying positive with his football team.
After a trying time, the pass complete. Palmer on the money to the 38. Higgins working on Burrow. Burrow playing with what looks like that cast on his hand. Picked up 12 on the play.
You see Garrett Burrow, he broke that finger in the Nebraska game, but Gary Barnett was under siege in the spring. This secondary's under siege right now, and we see the recruiting recommendations. Those aren't recommendations. Those are outright sanctions self-imposed by Colorado. 11 p.m. curfew for recruits on visits, one-night maximum stay instead of 2, and no player hosts. Dealing with that in recruiting is tough.
Yeah, that, Bob, is putting them at a distinct disadvantage relative to some of the standards by other schools, not only in the Big 12 Conference, but nationwide.
And keep in mind, those are not NCAA sanctions by any means. That was by a commission formed on campus that looked into some of the problems. But the thing I don't really understand, I don't know that there were many problems on recruiting visits per se, but that is a tough, tough scenario to recruit under those strict regulations.
Well, Barnett told everyone, the players, remember who you are, what we stand for, what you learn from your families, and be true to yourself. And they have done that, and that's part of the reason why they've endured and made it this far. Merrill brought down immediately on the play. Back near the 30. Mike Hankwitz, the defensive coordinator, trying to dial up the right play. While his father is in a Michigan hospital, ill right now. Once again, we send our thoughts out and prayers to him.
Let's see right here at the end if there's a face mask. There's no question. That's not 5. That's 15. And the Mountain West Conference officials missed, which was a huge, huge advantage to Colorado, because that would have been first down instead of second down and 16. They flat missed that one.
Just under 12 minutes to go. They go empty. Palmer on the slant, a little bit of contact. Interception, but will it stand? That was Dominic Brooks making the play, but he bumped the intended receiver, Chris Merrill. It appeared as if he went right through Merrill to make the play. That's the call. That's going to be a first down and 10 now for UTEP.
And Dominic Brooks, the safety, no question. No question. Colorado blitzed the empty formation. They had the safety straight man-to-man coverage and never made an attempt to play the football. He just climbed the back of Chris Merrow. And on 2nd down and 16, that was a huge penalty.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. With a single back set, Howard Jackson behind Palmer. Takes the handoff with nowhere to go. Couldn't make anybody miss that time. Brought down to the 47-yard line by Manipuna. Rocco Manipuna making the play. Capital One Bowl Week continuing here at the EV1.net Houston Bowl in Houston, Texas, Reliant Stadium. Colorado taking on UTEP. I'm Mark Jones along with Bob Davey and Holly Rowe. Bobby Purify having a tough time running the ball. Jackson, meanwhile, having a little bit more relative success on the other side of the ball for UTEP. 28-26. This 4th quarter has been marked by some huge swings in momentum. Jackson came off limping a few moments ago.
Every time UTEP runs the football, they do Colorado's corners a favor.
They're going to throw here. Palmer picked off. He did a favor for Colorado. It's picked by Hubbard. That's his 3rd interception of the game. And turnovers continue to hurt UTEP. That's their 3rd.
Jordan Palmer, excellent job of running out of the grasp of what would have been a sack. Kind of throws the ball in no man's land right there. And Hubbard, again, the 6'4" safety, comes off the hash and makes the play. Really the first really poorly thrown ball today by Jordan Palmer. And where's Klopfenstein, the tight end, on play action?
That's complete out of the backfield. That's the rookie. The senior, Monte. Monte's caught a few balls today. Let's go downstairs to Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, one of the reasons we have seen that UTEP ground game grind to a halt is that Howard Jackson has a sprained right ankle. He injured the ankle early in the game. He had it taped up late in the 3rd quarter, and he is still trying to play on it. Now, last series, he limped off to the sideline to seek further treatment. So right now, Howard Jackson limited very much by what he's able to do in the running game, guys.
All right, they're going to have to try and take advantage of some of their depth at that position as a result. Purify stopped up at the 34-yard line. Akinduro was one of the first guys there, joined by Rodriguez. Godwin Akinduro from the Houston area, like so many players here for UTEP. 47 UTEP players in all grew up in or around the Houston area.
Probably the biggest improvement this year has been this UTEP defense under Tim Hunley, giving up 340 yards a game. Last year they gave up 448 yards a game, and this is the best part of their defense. 3rd down defense. They have been outstanding all year.
Black fires quick. No flag and incomplete. In spite of the protestations, Adrian Ward made the play.
And it looked like Adrian Ward got there a little bit early, and it was right in front of that Colorado bench. Let's take a chance. Let's go back and look at it again. Adrian Ward, a great job of sitting on that out. He got there too early. That's a penalty, another missed call by the Mountain West Conference, and Gary Barnett's beside himself.
Klopfenstein, the intended receiver. Jamal Fenner now trying to make a play on a punt return. He is one of the top punt returners in the nation.
What you want is consistency out of the officiating crew, and they called the pass interference on Brooks, the safety from Colorado, in the previous series.
Which it was, yeah.
And that should have been pass interference right there.
They're going to fake the punt. Tork will have the first down at the 44-yard line. Gary Barnett, the riverboat gambler, rolls the dice, and it pays.
And special teams, the reason Colorado is in postseason play.
He picked up 23 yards on that scamper onto UTEP's side of midfield. They caught the Miners in a big nap.
How about that? Again, UTEP sets up for the punt return. And stop it. If we stop it right there, you have all UTEP's players holding up, running downfield with Colorado's punt coverage, man. Nobody staying home to protect against the fake. Excellent call, rolling the dice.
And they hang on to the ball with 9.5 minutes to go. Purify. Check that, Vickers this time down to the 40-yard line. Vickers, Purify, Hugh have all carried the ball for Colorado out of the backfield. And I'll tell you a little bit about Vickers after the huge play by Torp. Lawrence Vickers has a strange custom. He's from the Houston area, but Bob, dig this. Before these games, what he does is actually go down and kind of feel the turf, and he has thoughts of tasting grass, but it's not him that it's caught on with. Caught on with his counterpart, Aaron Givens. Strange but true. 2nd down and 6. Platt got hit, but got it away. Touchdown, Buffaloes. Evan Judge. And Platt got drilled after he released it. And the Colorado Buffaloes take the lead for the first time since early in the ball game when they led 3-0.
And a broken coverage by the UTEP secondary. They gave one to Colorado right there.
Evan Judge with his 4th touchdown catch this season. I mean, he was wide open.
And it's a good thing because Joel Platt took a lick.
Buffaloes with a 5-point lead.
Again, Joel Platt gets rocked right there by Ebok, and the broken coverage, Evan Judge gets the home run.
The verdict, though, not in yet. 5-point lead when we come back.
You know your friend Cheese? Yeah. That's a nickname, right? Yeah. He smell or something? No. Does he eat a lot of cheese? No, actually, he's lactose intolerant. Well, what's his first name? Mike. What's his last name? Jankowskevich. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, one time we were out in the boat, and he pulled out a big old chunk of Limburger, put it on a hook. Apparently, catfish like stinky cheese. Catfish are so dumb.
Menards has the best selection of products for your home. We're dedicated to service and quality and giving you exactly what you need at the guaranteed lowest prices. Our Moen faucets have a lifetime warranty and are all 20% off. Choose from our huge selection of stock and special order faucets. Ring in the new year with savings from Menards. Open New Year's Day until 6 p.m.
Save big money at Menards.
Comcast Sportsnet is the new home of Chicago Bulls basketball. We're running with the Bulls for 45 regular season games, and no one covers your Bulls like Comcast Sportsnet. Watch every home game available in crystal clear high definition on Comcast Digital Cable Channel 175. And after the game, stick around for Bulls post-game live. Don't miss out. Catch the Chicago Bulls all season long on Comcast Sportsnet. On Comcast Cable Channel 37 with high definition games on Channel 175. ESPN's presentation of the 2004 EV1.net Houston Bowl. Brought to you by Everyone's Internet. Internet service starting at just $10 a month. Citi, proud sponsor of the 2005 Rose Bowl. New Year's Day on ABC. And McDonald's.
Welcome back, everyone, to Reliant Stadium. Colorado with this first lead of the ball game since the first quarter. 33-28 with 8:43 to go in the fourth quarter. James Cox now, number 10 for the Buffaloes, warming up on the sidelines. It would be no surprise if he got to see significant action he has this year. He started the Iowa State game earlier this season.
Here's what happened on the touchdown. UTEP loves to bring the strong safety on a blitz, and they play two deep coverage, which means the corner's up and the safety's deep to help him. For some reason right here, And I think it's because the receiver running down the seam distracts the safety. The corner gets no jam, Adrian Ward. And I mean, that's just stealing right there. So it was supposed to actually be the corner rolled up, jamming the wide receiver with the safety over top helping. They got neither. A jam by the corner nor safety help. And that was a free one right there for Colorado.
Palmer trying to rally and answer. Complete to Jackson, who's back in the ballgame. Our Holly Rowe reporting a few moments ago that Jackson injured his ankle earlier in the ballgame, but made a nice grab there.
And here's what you find out about Jordan Palmer. Is he able to come back after throwing the interception, the big home run by Colorado? Confidence shaken maybe a little bit on this UTEP football team. We'll find something out, another step in the development of this young quarterback right here.
Colorado coming with a little pressure. And Palmer sacked back at the 17-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and long now for UTEP.
And we talk about being in Houston, Texas. Dom Capers, the master of the zone blitz. You're going to watch it come from the field right here. The zone blitz, both linebackers blitzing, and Jordan Palmer holds onto that football a little bit too long. That confused him. The zone blitz confused the quarterback right there, and he held onto the football, and Dom Capers was the guy that started all that stuff.
Head coach of the Houston Texans had an opportunity to speak with some of the UTEP Miners after their walkthrough here at Reliant Stadium yesterday. 3rd and 11.
And you have to think about Jason Boyd.
He got it off in time, but way incomplete. And Palmer got rocked. 4th down. They dialed it up a little bit. Brian Ewu came in.
Again, a zone blitz. Ewu, the linebacker, coming from the field. And fortunate right there, Jordan Palmer able to get that football off without turning it over.
4th punt of the day now for Bryce Benecos. Man that's already got his undergrad degree. Boy, they came after Colorado, and Benecos drills one.
That is a great job by the punter.
Oh, my goodness. This one's going to be down inside the 10-yard line. Bryce Benecos on everyone's NFL list. Had a chance to meet his dad, Nick, yesterday. Great relationship with those two. A 75-yard punt.
And what makes that a spectacular 75-yard punt is Colorado brought the corner. You don't really have anyone accounted to block for him. Watch from down here at the bottom of the screen. The corner's going to come. That should have been blocked. And he gets a 75-yard punt off with pressure in his face. Wow.
1st down and 10, and Platt able to come back out and assume the quarterbacking responsibilities. Impressive numbers on the day, albeit the 2 interceptions. 94 yards away from the end zone. But with a 5-point lead, Purify out to the 12. Bobby Purify. We weren't sure how much he was going to play in this ball game because of those aching shoulders. They've been hampering him all year, and he looks to the bench to get a breather here. But showing a lot of temerity and courage, able to play in this game. 51 yards rushing. It's safe to say that this Colorado offense has atoned for their poor performance against Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship game. Under 7 minutes to go. Vickers now in at tailback. On 2nd and 6. Pass complete for the tight end, Kloffenstein. Check that, Dusty Sprague made the play. Sprague, a redshirt freshman, one of those young players for Colorado. Remember, the Buffaloes with just 4 seniors starting coming into this game.
And you really do have to be impressed with Joel Platt. Keep in mind, he came into this game with 15 interceptions, the 2nd most in school history in a single season. But I think he has been outstanding today.
Guy who proposed to his girlfriend during the holidays. She said yes. That doesn't always go smoothly, you know, Bob. You're a different guy than me, but 1st and 10. He's 23 of 30 today. Purify. Got to the corner and run out of bounds near the 40. Picked up 17 on that chunk, and now Colorado's starting to use up some of that valuable clock and keep ball possession.
And you have to love the effort of Bobby Purify. You talked about the injuries. Right here, he just does this on his own, cuts back across the field. Probably needs to get that ball in the other hand. There he goes. He switches it over. Almost got it wrestled out of there by Adrian Ward. But you love the courage of this guy because he is a beat-up football player.
Averaged almost 5 yards a carry on the season. 85 yards rushing per game. Brian Ellis now in for Purify in the backfield. Got a flag on the play.
Prior to the snap, delay a game. Offense, number 14, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
For more on Purify, let's go downstairs to Holly.
Well, Mark, perhaps one thing that's made Bobby Purify special and able to overcome these obstacles is he overcame a hearing impairment. He grew up until 5 years of age without being able to speak because he couldn't hear. He had skin growing over portions of his eardrum. He had special surgery at age 5 and is now a hearing young man. He says his first language was American Sign Language, and now he will take time out to actually sign to people he sees that are hearing impaired. He's a very soft-hearted, gentle young man. He's had to overcome a lot to be who he is today.
Yeah, we had a chance to visit with him yesterday. A man of a few words, but his play speaking loudly today on the field for him and his teammates. Vickers that time brought down at the 33-yard line.
And you see what penalties do. It's only 5 yards. That false start penalty on first down, but it throws this rhythm and play calling off. And this has been a long season
Bruce,
for Gary Barnett.
Sorry, Bob, we talked about Purify being a man of few words. Vickers, meanwhile, exactly the opposite. He is the quote-unquote go-to guy for media people covering the Buffaloes. A great quote most of the time. 2nd and 16, wide open. Complete. Now they're going to say it's out of bounds. Wow, Evan Judge couldn't get a foot down. He caught it, but he didn't get a foot in bounds. It would have been a 27-yard pickup.
First of all, an excellent play call by Sean Watson, the offensive coordinator. They're going to go ahead right here, and they're going to set up what looks to be the bubble screen, and they're going to fake and then run by. So it's a really bubble screen and go. The wide receiver is wide open. Wow. We need to slow that down and look at that again.
I said he was complete. It was complete.
He has possession.
When I saw him catch it, I swore it was complete. The official has a better view than I do.
Again, the Mountain West Conference officials. Gary must have had a better angle than I had.
Instead, it sets up a 3rd down and 16.
We'll get a chance to come back and look at it again right here on the sidelines.
He had the ball right there.
If he has possession right there, that left foot is down. Mark, I agree with you. I do think he had position. The official that made the call was behind the receiver, which made it difficult for him to see if he had possession.
3rd and 16, they give it to Charles. And Charles is brought down short of the first down. So a controversial play that goes against the Buffaloes as Charles picked up 9, and it's 4th down, and a chorus of boos raining down from the Buffalo supporters. One more look.
One last look right here. The point here being the official that's going to make this call was behind him. He should have had help from underneath. It was impossible for him to make that call.
Well, now it's an opportunity instead for Jamal Fenner. Get a good return here. Fenner, one of the most dangerous return guys in the conference this year. At a school record for punt returns and yardage.
It's been a magic season for UTEP. If they can get the ball back again and finish it in a magical way.
This will be returnable. And it bounces into the end zone, so they're 80 yards away after that 58-yard punt. with 4:21 to go in the fourth quarter. Capital One Bowl Week continuing tonight at 8 Eastern on ESPN with the MasterCard Alamo Bowl. Oklahoma State at 7-4, taking on another 7-4 team, Ohio State, ranked number 22. And keep an eye, folks, on that guy, Teddy Ginn, number 7, one of the most dangerous players in the nation. We did a game against Michigan State earlier this year, Bobby. Touched the football 3 times, did not get touched 3 times by the opposition, and scored 3 times.
He is fun to watch. And I believe in the next year or two, there will be instant replay throughout college football, and there should be instant replay in college football.
Jackson back in the ball game. The pass incomplete into coverage at the 45-yard line, intended for Jason Boyd.
We talked about when we did the GMAC Bowl, Holly Rowe talked to the Big Ten officials on the field before that game, and they did offer to all the bowls the opportunity to come in and set up the replay system like they did in the Big Ten, and particularly the opportunity to do it in the national championship game. I cannot imagine that anyone would turn down the opportunity to do that with so much at stake, particularly in the national championship game. But today, this is UTEP and Colorado's national championship game.
Right. 2nd down and 10. Under heat, Palmer. They're going to rule it incomplete. His arm coming forward. And it's going to be 3rd down and 10 now. And a snap, Abraham Wright in on the pressure with 4:11 to go. UTEP trying to continue its dream season.
And I think Mike Hankwitz made the decision to help his corners go ahead and pressure Jordan Palmer. Don't let him sit back there with the football and throw it down the field on your corners. That's him, Abraham Wright, in the backfield.
Bob, both teams with a couple of timeouts remaining. But the clock becoming the enemy now of UTEP. Palmer. Incomplete, jarred loose nicely by Tom Hubbard, the free safety who knocked it out of the hands of Johnny Lee Higgins. It's 4th down. In comes the punting unit.
And Hubbard is having a heck of a football game. This guy won 15 letters in high school football, basketball, and track.
Originally a walk-on, Bob, signed his ride this spring.
That's a reckless play by a big 6'5" safety.
A little bit of Stuart Schweigert in him, huh?
There's a name out of the pack from the Big Ten.
Nekos got up a 75-yarder last time. This one not quite as far, but nice and high. No net on the return all the way down to the 40-yard line. A 40-yard punt. And Klatt now left with the responsibility to take care of the ball, manage the clock, and secure the victory for the Colorado Buffaloes, which, if they do that, would improve to 8-5 on the season.
And see how healthy Bobby Purify, a young man that's won 5 letters at Colorado because of a medical red shirt one year where he played the first 3 games, was out for the rest of the year. Colorado needs to line up, obviously, right now and run this football.
Here's Purify. Purify got about 2. Brought down by Minio. 2nd down, about 8 to go.
Mark, do you agree that we should have instant replay?
I like it.
Football?
I think back, at the very least, in the national championship game. I think back to the title game a couple of years ago. Ohio State against Miami, that controversial call in the end zone, and some others like that. I'm not sure that they wouldn't be better served able to review some of those things.
And I think these officials want it. You look at the referee there from the Mountain West Conference. All they want to do is the right thing, and humans make mistakes. You just want a chance to correct it.
2nd and 9. Purify finding a seam between the tackles, has the 1st down, moves the chain subsequently with 3:04 to go.
Again, Purify, we talked about his health. Excellent job by the offensive line right there. And that was a big 1st down. UTEP with 2 timeouts left. Obviously in a situation now where they're going to have to use them.
Purify, 21 rushes for 82 yards, 6 catches for 41. Purify again brought down to the line of scrimmage by Akinduro. Akinduro, another one of those Houston area players for UTEP out of Elsick High School. Honorable mention in the WAC conference this year. With 2:22 to go now.
You go back and talk about these two coaches. Mike Price, a lot of controversy when he accepted the UTEP job. A team that had 3 straight 2-win seasons. For them to be in a bowl game. And on the other side, Gary Barnett with the scandal that just ravaged this program all spring.
Still dealing with the repercussions of that. They have a new incoming athletic director. Hugh Charles on the carry. Down to the 47-yard line with 1:50 to go.
And UTEP now down to 1 timeout left in this football game.
Mike Price looking for one more miracle in a season of miracles. We'll have more after this.
America's favorite home gym is more affordable than ever. Now you can get the all-new Bowflex Extreme for just $19 a month. Call the number on your screen for a free DVD or video and check it out. Bowflex's Power Rod technology delivers results. Powerful arms, defined legs, a stronger chest, and a toned, sexy core. And owning a Bowflex home gym is so affordable. Great results are easy with a new Extreme. All it takes is one simple workout, 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, to get in the best shape of your life. The Extreme is built so well that we back it with an unrivaled 7-year warranty. And so effective, it comes with Bowflex's 100% satisfaction guarantee. Through this special offer, you can own one with no money down and just $19 per month. You can't get this Bowflex deal anywhere else. Call us for a free DVD or video, or visit us online and find out how to get your Bowflex for just $19 a month today.
1:50 to go. Colorado leading 33-28. I'm Mark Jones along with Bob Davey. Holly Rowe down in the field. Defensively, UTEP needs to make something happen, but with the size discrepancy between the offensive line of the Buffaloes and UTEP's defensive front, how are they going to make something happen defensively?
I'll tell you what, they're a pesky defense. What you wonder is if Colorado play action passes right here on 3rd and 10.
On the edge. Hugh Charles stopped up. Jamal Fenner with run support off the corner.
And you have to love the heart of this UTEP football team as UTEP uses their last time out this afternoon. But this is a pesky, pesky defensive football team. And you see the heart and the fight of Mike Price come through in this football team. And I think you talk about the journeys of these two programs from last spring. It has been a remarkable story.
1:41 to go in the 4th quarter. 4th down coming up. Colorado's going to punt as we approach the top of the hour here. Purify on the sidelines. He's done his job well.
Special teams, a strength of Colorado all season long.
John Torp coming in to punt. I'm Mark Jones along with Bob Davey. Holly Rowe, Capital One Bowl Week. It's the EV1.net Houston Bowl in Houston, Texas's Reliant Stadium. 4th down coming up. The Buffaloes are going to punt. UTEP is out of timeouts. Colorado with 2 remaining. John Torp into punt.
An excellent operation time by Colorado with their deep snapper and their punter. UTEP bringing the corner from the boundary. It looks like the extra rusher right here.
Jamal Fenner standing on his own 12. They come after it a little bit. Fenner's going to get a chance to return this one from the 15. And brought down immediately at the 19-yard line by Lawrence Vickers, a 33-yard punt, 4 on the return. Palmer with one more chance, but first back to Reese.
All right, Mark, you might see a substantially longer punt return from this man, Ohio State's Ted Ginn Jr., one of the best punt returners in the country. The MasterCard Alamo Bowl, Oklahoma State and Ohio State coming up next.
Getting a chance to watch that one after this one, Reese. First down and 10 from the 18-yard line. Nothing but a touchdown will do.
And Colorado has been able to pressure Jordan Palmer here in the fourth quarter.
Palmer got it away, and it's incomplete. Been a different story in the second half.
And that is an excellent call by the Mountain West Conference crew.
He was in the pocket.
He was in the pocket. Intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 5. Ball will be placed at the spot of the pass. Lost it down. Second down.
The story of the fourth quarter has been Colorado's pass rush. Here they bring the linebackers on a blitz and intentional grounding. Obviously no receiver in a vicinity to catch that football, but they have been able to heat Jordan Palmer up with the pass rush.
He's 0 for 6 in his last 6 passes. Connects on that one all the way out to the 25 to Johnny Lee Higgins with 1:19 to go.
And it has to be pressure because when he gets time, Jordan Palmer can flat throw the football.
Mike Price has been able to lift this team to new heights and motivate his players to new barriers being broken. Different story in the second half. UTEP led 21-13 at the break, but Colorado has outscored them 20-7 here in the second half. A quick slant to Higgins, complete for the first down near the 40-yard line with 1:15 to go. They're still alive. And Higgins, one of their speed guys, along with Bowie.
And it's all about pass protection. Colorado trying to get some fresh players on the field, particularly at corner, as Lorenzo Sims is back in the game.
Thrown behind his intended receiver. And some people calling for a flag on that play, intended for Jake Sears, the tight end. Going to be second down and 10 as a result. Boy, Palmer's really hurting.
And that was close to being a late hit personal foul on Colorado as the tight end Sears comes across the middle. That should have been a penalty. That should have been a 15-yard penalty right there. That was a defenseless receiver. Obviously enough time for the defensive player to pull out.
Second and 10. Incomplete at the 43. And now just a couple remaining chances for quarterback Jordan Palmer and UTEP.
Again, Jordan Palmer, excellent job of avoiding pressure. Really an excellent throw on the run, and you see Jason Boyd on the sideline drop the football and injured himself right there, I believe.
Would have been a tough catch. Back to the 40.
When you talk about getting to a bowl game, what a great experience for a young quarterback like Jordan Palmer. If you're not in a bowl game, he doesn't even practice till next spring. You can't duplicate these kind of scenarios for a young guy getting ready for next year.
Third down and 10. Mike Price with a magical season, regardless of the result in this game.
And you have to wonder if Mike Hankiewicz brings some zone pressure, brings those inside linebackers. Don't let Jordan Palmer sit back there and throw it down the field on these corners.
Third and 10. Incomplete at the 46. Intended for Higgins. And they're down to their last opportunity. Wheatley there to break it up. I'm going to tell you a story about Mike Price, how he motivates this team. Back at Fresno State, he took an old bottle, ran around the field as his players watched incredulously and said, I'm filling the air here with a little Miner spirit. The next day, outside the locker room prior to the game, as the team watched on, he smashed the bottle with that Miners axe and said, The spirit now is free. Let's make something special happen. They did. They won the game at Fresno State. We can motivate some players.
And Jason Boyd back in the game right here, number 1. Mike Hankwit's going to blitz this empty set.
Incomplete. Incomplete at midfield, and that might do it. They're out of timeouts intended for Francis. And Gary Barnett, a man without a team to coach just 10 months ago, back at the end of February, now looking at going 8-5 on the season.
And that is a look of relief right there on the sidelines. Again, empty formation. Mike Hankwitz comes with a zone blitz. Really a pretty good throw, but an excellent break by Dominic Brooks. And there is relief on that Colorado sidelines right now, particularly Gary Barnett.
You can only imagine what that team went through for the 3 months where things could have gone directionless and rudderless, but they didn't. Brian Cabral ran the program with the help of the football coaches, and things got back on the rails when Barnett came back, and Tom Hubbard is our Capital One player of the game. Had a couple of picks, 4 tackles. Starting free safety, the junior, will be returning next year, and the Colorado Buffaloes out of the Big 12 will improve to 8-5 on the season, the champs of the North Division. And what a performance by Clyde as well. The quarterback took some big hits. At one point, we weren't sure whether he'd be able to rebound. Platt was 23 of 31 for 326 yards and a couple of touchdown passes. That's all from Reliant Stadium. For Bob Davey and Holly Rowe, I'm Mark Jones. 33-28 the final. Right now, time to go to the MasterCard Alamo Bowl. Guys?
ESPN's Capital One Bowl Week, an American holiday tradition.
And we keep it in the state of Texas. Welcome inside the Alamo Dome here in San Antonio for the 2004 MasterCard Alamo Bowl, year 12 of this game.